question. Which Philly has a nickname of Jimmy Cigarettes? 215-263-WMMR. We're going to go to Ron for the answer. Hey, Ron.
Hi, guys, a gal.
Hey, man. All right, so who's Jimmy Cigarettes?
Would that be Gene Segura?
Gene Segura, yeah. Correct. Hang on. And apparently that came about from auto-generated closed captioning and mistook his name for James Cigarettes.
No, really?
Gene Segura, yeah.
That's
Jimmy.
funny.
And therefore he became Jimmy Cigarettes.
I love that.
Which is excellent. Ron, hang on the line. We're going to set you up. We have a pair of tickets to see live. They are playing Friday, November 18th, the Excite Center inside Parks Casino, Salem. 21 and over show, and tickets are sold out. You can check out the other upcoming great events at parkscasino.com. So on Thursday, Alyssa Scott confirmed she is pregnant with Nick Cannon's 11th child.
11 kids.
Yeah, this will be their second child together and his 11th overall.
Is he like religious, like where he can't get a vasectomy? Is there something?
I don't think that's
a reason why? Okay,
he is literally. I think he has always had the mission to have a full brood of kids.
Yeah.
And he's had with how many different women? 4?
At least.
Right? 4 or 5?
Yeah, something
Or
like that.
did 2 of them join up for one?
I think he does. I think he's a spiritual person because he always calls it like this one. He calls it a miracle and a blessing and things like that. So.
I don't know if he's morally opposed to like contraception and or anything else.
I'm not sure about that.
I mean, because you can't necessarily, unless you do whatever you want, but be morally opposed to contraception, but not morally opposed to multiple sex partners while not married.
Yeah, groups, a daisy chain.
Yeah.
So she posted photos from a nude photo shoot with the drumline actor to Instagram to announce the news.
I remember when my mother did that. I was so embarrassed.
In the intimate snapshots, Cannon can be seen kissing and touching Scott's belly. She captioned it, "A miracle and a blessing."
And the photographer who took that picture is now pregnant with his kid.
Right.
So it never stops.
So these two, remember, they lost their child last year, a baby named Zen. So
there were pictures of them on the beach. They took the baby out for, remember that? It was horrible.
So we obviously hope for better things with this child.
Yeah.
In a surprising turn of events, it was reported on Thursday that Johnny Depp will be the first male to appear in a spotlight moment during Rihanna's Savage X Fenty show. And this comes shortly after Depp's highly publicized defamation trial against ex-wife Amber Heard, which sparked broader conversations about domestic abuse. And considering Rihanna's history as a survivor of domestic violence, this news came as a bit of a shock to many people. Some took to social media to address the situation. To give you an example, one user commented and said, "The saddest thing about this man's smear campaign that made him win and set women's rights 50 years back with fellow abusers suing their victims is that he got real victims of domestic violence like Rihanna supporting him. He convinced the world that he was the victim." Others chimed in to kind of protect Rihanna as an abuse survivor. For example, someone wrote, "The choice that Rihanna made is frustrating, but in protesting, please keep the attention on Depp's history of violence. There are no perfect victims, but Rihanna is still an abuse survivor, and I don't want to invalidate that."
So I lost the count of what the end result was. Were they both, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, both physical with each other?
Yeah.
Was he physical with her?
Well, I mean, they found in his favor, but it appeared from all the excerpts of testimony that we read, and it all depends on what you believe.
Yeah.
But it sounded like both were abusive to me.
That's what it seemed like to me, but I don't know. And
So
the only people who know are them.
It was a quote-unquote toxic relationship for sure on both sides, but...
Now, both you and I wear nothing but Fendi, and we love it.
Yeah,
But it doesn't mean that this is the right choice. Yeah.
The fourth installation of the Savage X Fenty show is set to premiere on Amazon Prime on November 9th. I don't even know what that is.
Oh man, that's the same night as food trucks and fireworks.
Oh, damn it.
We have to compete
Well,
with that.
there's that big screen outside of Xfinity Live. We can put it up
We
there.
can put it on there, yeah. Speaking of, abuse, Chris Redd from Saturday Night Live opened up about being assaulted outside of the Comedy Cellar in New York City last week. So he's speaking about it now, and he said, "This man hit me in the face with something metal."
Brass knuckles he was wearing.
He said,
I reported that like Yoda.
Okay, well, yeah, right. Well, he said, "I thought it was brass knuckles because of the way it cut my nose to the bone." Red said he was gushing blood, And he was treated for 2 fractures in his nose at Bellevue Hospital following the incident. He said, a fist don't normally do all of that at one time. So it was safe to assume that I was hit with something. The comedian shared that he does not believe that it was an attempted mugging, but rather a targeted attack. He said the dude just hit me and ran off and fell down so fast. I don't even know if I fell until I looked at I didn't even know that I fell. Until I looked at the footage.
Could you, brass knuckles, man? I used to have a pair just because it was fun. You know, I never hit anybody with it, but I thought it was kind of cool. But even then, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this would be a nightmare to get clocked with these.
Yeah. Red added that he would have gone on with his show, which was scheduled to take place at the Comedy Cellar that night, had he not been bleeding so much. He said, if we could have stopped the bleeding, I would have went on stage. I was like, I can't wait to talk about this crap, and I'm glad I waited, but that was my first thought.
It's hard to make people laugh when you're hemorrhaging.
Yeah. Actor Arrow Stephen Amell reportedly went wild in court.
What?
After losing his lawsuit against an animal rescue. A judge ruled that Amell and his wife, Cassandra Jean, were not likely to prevail at a trial against Rescues Rock, an animal rescue that the couple was trying to have moved from its Laurel Canyon location. Source told Page 6 that the actor was yelling following the verdict. Another source said he was not pleased and that he left the courtroom and was glaring at the Rescues Rock group. Amell and Jean sued Rescues Rock in September, claiming that the defendants, Kristen Stavola and Jeremy Gardner, were running a large illegal animal kennel operation. They also allege that the canines bark loudly at all hours of the night and day, continuously waking the Amells, their newborn child, and 8-year-old daughter. Court documents state, in addition to RRI, defendants do not properly sanitize their residential real properties or clean up substantial animal waste, resulting in overpowering stench and odors emanating from the properties and onto the Amells property. However, the documents also state that as recently as September 21st, City of Los Angeles Animal Services Department conducted an inspection of the premises without incident, citation, or findings of any unlawful activity whatsoever.
So the city's saying that what they're doing is above board.
Yeah, but these guys say it's noisy and it stinks. And they don't want it nearby them.
Yeah.
That's,
Dogs barking all time of day and night.
Yeah.
Keeping my kids up.
That's right, it stinks.
He's a lawyer. We know that he handles matrimonial lawsuits.
this is true.
Yeah, but yeah.
Now he's moving on to regular civil
Stinks!
suits. Yeah.
Crapping all night. Dogs poop all over the place. Smells!
You're better than that.
So we'll
Jerky
see.
treats.
We'll see if Rocky can get an appeal or something like that. Modern Family actress Julie Bowen opened up about her romantic past on a recent episode of her Quitters podcast.
She's got a podcast.
While interviewing Becca Tilley, Bowen said, I'm straight. I've always been straight. However, she shared, I was in love with a woman for a while, but she didn't love me back. She liked women, but she didn't like me in that way. What, was she blind?
Yeah.
Julie Bowen is gorgeous. She added, it never really took off, so I never really had to challenge my concept of my sexuality.
Sorry, I don't like you that way.
So yeah, I guess she was feeling, had feelings for that particular person, and it wasn't.
Never got physical, never reciprocated.
Yeah,
The dream sequence with Julie Bowen in Happy Gilmore, where she's walking out with the pictures of beer.
It's great.
The white lingerie. This is one of the best fantasies on film ever.
Nick, you know it's one of, I think an equivalent to that is her in Horrible Boss.
Yes.
Oh my God, Steve.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
she's
know.
playing the kind of nympho, Kevin Spacey's nympho wife.
Yeah.
Is really good.
I like her.
She's good.
Oh my God,
What?
that was weird.
What?
Yeah. Like,
It's right next to me. I don't feel comfortable anymore.
Seriously.
I like you too.
we didn't get much sleep last night. Some of the real emotions are going to come out.
Yeah.
There's lots of sleep.
It's all in the service today, Kath.
Jason Momoa took to Instagram on Thursday
What a man!
to remember his late grandmother, Mabel Lemke. He said, I loved making my grandma laugh. It's been a year, and now I miss you, Grams. He had captioned a series of photos with her.
Sounds like a frail thing.
Yeah.
What? There's a picture. Go back to that one, Nick, on his Instagram. He's got fangs, and he's wearing some kind of a giant bow, and she's cracking up looking at him.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's wonderful. But he captioned a series of photos. One of the pictures shows Momoa with his arms wrapped around Mabel, and another shows her sitting inside a Ford Thunderbird convertible. Two of the photos include in his carousel are FaceTime screenshots between the two.
Aww.
He said, I would FaceTime her when I was playing Flip in Slumberland, and she was so giddy seeing me dressed up like a wild animal. He said, today will be hard, but I have the best angels watching over me. So that was
That's sweet.
Yeah, sweet little tribute to her. People can't get enough of the new haircut that Zac Efron has.
Oh, my God. I can't get enough of it, Preston.
Well, his role is Kevin Von Erich in The Iron Claw. And Page Six reports after a photo leaked showing Efron wearing a tight gray muscle tank with short bangs and hair past his ears. People took to social media comparing him to Lord Farquaad in Shrek.
It's true. It looks a lot like it.
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either. I saw the picture of him, Steve, that
jacked.
where he's pumped up, but I have not seen the hair. So one person tweeted, he looks like if Lord Farquaad hit the weight room. And
God.
Another one wrote, not Zac Efron becoming Lord Farquaad's. Note, Zac Efron becoming Lord Farquaad's lost brother.
I'll tell you what, he talked about when they did that Baywatch comedy movie with Dwayne Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
He got into really cut shape, and he said it was so difficult that he was getting lightheaded all the time because there's no way to live, and to maintain that for the shoot was too much.
Yeah, but he's apparently he's keeping that jacked appearance together. Jennifer Lawrence told the New York Times recently how she and her Hunger Games co-stars Liam Hemsworth and Josh Hutcherson would unwind following premiere. She said, the boys and I would always go back to our hotel room and just drink whiskey and get stoned. She said, my mother-in-law.
That's interesting.
She said, my mother-in-law is going to love this. She said, I don't do it anymore, though. I'm a mom. She thought that the 4 Hunger Game films were fantastic. However, she shared, the only thing that gave me pause was just how famous that it would make me. She also joked that her new Hunger Games prequel, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, makes her feel old as mold. Or it's not hers, it's she's not in it, is she?
No, I don't think so. Maybe there's a cameo or something.
So she said, I remember being 21 and thinking, my God, one day they'll redo and remake them, but I'll be so old by then, I'll be dead.
The first movie I enjoyed. They got progressively less fun as they moved along, but that's common.
Yeah, exactly. Cameron Crowe has invited Jimmy Fallon to appear in the Broadway musical adaptation of Almost Famous. On Tuesday, the writer and director of the 2000 film of the same name appeared on The Tonight Show, to talk about the stage show, which is currently in previews. And Fallon had asked Crowe, is my character still in the play? And he replied, I'm really glad that you brought this up because, Jimmy, we love Dennis Hope of the movie. And he said, of course it's in the play. My dream has always been to have you come and be the link between the two casts, the cast of the musical, who also became a really tight family, and the movie. So I would like you to come on the Broadway stage and play your part again of Dennis Hope.
So I am pretty unfamiliar with the Almost Famous musical. Has it been in existence for a while? Are they working?
I think it's new, Steve, but I saw some of the cast photos.
Yeah.
And the guy that plays Russell looks so much like Billy Crudup. I thought that it was Billy Crudup. I thought that they brought him back. Like, he's got the outfit. He's got the appearance, the mustache, the whole nine. He really looks like the part.
I'd like to see how they turn that into a musical and stage it. I think it could work.
Fallon replied, I'm in. Absolutely, I am in. And according to Crowe, he's even rewritten the character's scene just for Jimmy. He said, knowing you might step in, I rewrote the scene for an advanced Jimmy fever. And he said, I really wanted to get a scene worthy of you and the beard. In the movie, Fallon made his film debut.
Yeah, and he's really good.
First one, yeah. He was a road manager for Stillwater. Yeah,
your manager needs a manager.
Yeah.
Hey,
I didn't invent the rainy day. I just have a bigger umbrella.
He does a great Mick Jagger impression.
He does, yeah. If you think Mick Jagger is still going to be dancing around at 50 years old, you are sadly mistaken.
That's a top 5
great
movie
line
for me. I love that movie so much.
So he'll take a turn. Well, do you think you might go see the show? Do you like it that much?
Yeah, I like if they can translate it to Broadway, Casey, you're a bigger Broadway fan than I am, but I think that this could be a really good musical.
I don't know the movie that well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So according to the Hollywood Reporter, Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav expressed interest in creating more Harry Potter films.
What?
During an investors call on Thursday. What?
Yeah.
He said, we're going to focus on franchises. He said,
He wants Mel Gibson to play Dumbledore.
Oh, no.
That's his incantation.
yeah, that's a jinx he's putting on someone.
I'll take Kobe.
He where I lost my place. He said we haven't had a Superman movie.
And Preston, the beard, the fake beard doesn't quite fit right.
Yeah.
You can clearly see the string over his ears.
We haven't had a Superman movie in 13 years. We haven't done a Harry Potter in 15 years. They haven't done a Harry Potter in 15
that's not
years.
true. They did Fantastic Beasts. The last.
I guess maybe he's not counting that because Harry wasn't in it.
What about Man of Steel? That came out
Harry Potter's not in that.
No, but he said a Superman movie in 13 years.
The last Fantastic Beasts movie that came out was the best of the three. And if they're going to continue this franchise, they can go in that direction. And the first one, in my opinion, was okay, but they're getting better as they go. And I really like the last one a lot.
Yeah, so we'll see if they get Mel. Yeah,
a lot.
Well, they would have to create. Well, yeah. All right, whatever they do, as long as we have the original series, that's all that matters.
But he said the DC movies and the Harry Potter movies provided a lot of the profits for Warner Brothers over the past 25 years.
Do they see a crossover where perhaps the Flash attends Hogwarts?
That's a good idea.
Mel is on board and yet not on board with some aspects.
Yeah.
He added that he's really interested in making a deal with J.K. Rowling despite the
Oh my God.
Wow, man.
despite the controversy surrounding her lately. He said we can do something with J.K. on Harry Potter going forward.
I think she would need to be a part of the direction of the characters.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Was she a part of Fantastic Beasts in that series?
She's a screenwriter for those.
Okay. All right. Then one more quick thing. The Russo brothers' new Netflix movie, The Electric State, has rounded out its cast. The sci-fi thriller, which currently stars Stranger Things' Millie Bobby Brown opposite Chris Pratt, has
wow, man,
has added Anthony Mackie,
very cool,
Billy Bob Thornton, Giancarlo Esposito,
nice,
and
Mel Gibson,
Hui Kwan, and Mel Gibson.
Oh.
They're still negotiating.
Inaccurate reporting.
I love Billy Bob Thornton, and
he loves you.
Yeah, no, I'm. Well, we met before, and I think he liked me just fine. But I was watching Armageddon. He's really good in that movie.
I know.
You know what I mean? That
and we
movie
asked
is
him about
garbage,
it,
but like he's good in it.
And we were talking about it. Was in studio, and he said, "Yeah, you got to pay alimonies."
That's right.
Yes.
So alongside the reports is new details about the characters each actor will be playing. Esposito is playing a villain called the Marshal, who pilots a drone on the hunt for the robot at Brown's side. Mackie and Thornton will voice the robots, with Mackey's acting as a partner of sorts to a smuggler, played by Chris Pratt. Michelle Yeoh was set to play a doctor in The Electric State, but she's since been replaced by Kwan, who actually starred with her in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
So Anthony and Joe Russo had previously laid out the premise for the upcoming movie. In an interview, they said it sort of reimagines the 1990s as a sort of 1990s American West. A war happens between humans and AI robots, and this story is set in the aftermath of that war. It's basically about a sister who's been separated from her brother during the war, and she's trying to find him.
Sounds interesting.
They're also working on with Netflix on The Gray Man 2, the original starring Ryan Gosling as Agent Sierra 6 became one of the streamer's most viewed movies after being watched over 250 million hours in his first 28 days.
Did you see a case?
I did. I liked it.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'd heard kind of mixed reviews on it. Yeah.
The one that I really like the most out of that whole cluster was the Chris Hemsworth, the first
Extraction.
Extraction. Really solid. Yeah. A lot of terrific action.
All right, we do have some movies opening this weekend. All right, we're going to start with Weird, the Al Yankovic story.
I'm looking forward to this.
Comedy/biography stars Daniel Radcliffe, Evan Rachel Wood, and Rainn Wilson. The sort of unexaggerated true story about the greatest musician and sex symbol of our time. It's an hour and 48 minutes long. It's rated PG. It's limited theater release today, streaming today as well. And Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 90% score.
Yeah, how cool is that?
That's great. The other movie, or another movie opening, is Causeway, and it's a drama starring Jennifer Lawrence, Brian Tyree Henry, and Linda Edmond. Causeway is an intimate portrait of a soldier struggling to adjust to her life after returning home to New Orleans. Hour and 32 minutes long, rated R. It's in theaters and streaming today. Rotten Tomatoes, 85%. So
Not bad.
A solid score.
Yeah.
And then finally, the movie The Estate opens. It's a comedy with Toni Collette, Anna Faris, and David Duchovny. Two sisters attempt to win over their terminally ill, difficult-to-please aunt in hopes of becoming the beneficiaries of her wealthy estate, only to find the rest of their greedy family members have the same idea. Hour and 31 minutes long, rated R, limited theater release, and no score available as of now. All right, so we have clips to play. We're going to do that. We'll start with Weird, the Al Yankovic story. Of course, it explores every facet of Yankovic's life, from his meteoric rise to fame to his torrid celebrity love affairs and famously depraved lifestyle. In this clip, director Eric Appel explains how he came to make the movie.
I made a fake movie trailer for Funny or Die about 12 years ago that was a trailer for a really serious Weird Al Yankovic biopic. Al started showing it at his concerts during like a wardrobe change. So for about a decade, he would have people coming up to him after the show saying like, is this movie real? Like, how can I see this movie?
Yeah!
Weird, the Al Yankovic story is out today, and you can get that on the Roku channel streaming. All right, next clip. In Enola Holmes 2, Enola Holmes takes on her first case as a detective, but she'll need some help from friends and brother Sherlock. Here, star Henry Cavill discusses his relationship with co-star Millie Bobby Brown.
The relationship on camera very much mirrors what's off. We do have a very older brother, younger sister type relationship. It's a lot of teasing on set, a lot of making fun. I do not hold back.
Oh, yeah.
Enola Holmes 2 is out today on Netflix.
Maybe I need to visit this. The first
first
season,
one?
yeah, it was received pretty well.
It's a movie.
Oh, I thought it was a.
No,
I
it's
thought
not
it was
a
a
show.
little limited series. Okay.
No, I thought so too, but Caroline schooled me on that.
Okay.
It's a movie, and I know.
Yeah. Roasted.
Caroline and Rochelle liked it, so I think, and I love Millie Bobby Brown. She's great. So, and I love the whole Sherlock Holmes thing.
It's crazy when you see her when she first appeared as 11, and now she is.
I know.
Like, she's a beautiful woman. Yeah, it's
what
crazy.
What the hell?
I know.
Who to who?
All right, that's the entertainment report. We are going to take a break. Please tolerate my voice. We were at the game last night.
It's the voice of competition.
Oh, man, and it was.
Yeah.
But we got some stuff going on. Adam Conver is going to be joining us, and we got to rest up our voices because Monday's Camp Out for Hunger. It starts, man. So just keep in mind that is coming up. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back in a moment. Make sure you stay with us.
Preston and Steve
on 93.3 WMMR.
What's new?
Glad you asked. You know, I kind of notice these things.
Really?
Yeah, I think so because
Around the corner, down a dark alleyway, across an empty field. He is the noticer.
this one
Nothing gets past Preston Elliott.
This one
the
I
noticer.
I
on
noticed.
the Preston and Steve show.
All right. This one I
6
noticed
to 11.
because Steve said it to me.
All right.
Human
Steve
beings.
sent this to him.
We as human beings get turned on by many things. Most commonly, we're turned on by other people that
Yes.
we are sexually attracted to.
And animals.
There are also people. What?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. There are also people who are turned on by inanimate objects. I've mentioned that stuff on the Bizarre File before.
Hence people marrying the Eiffel Tower.
But this I've never seen. There are certain women who are turned on by themselves.
Oh my gosh. Wonder where a woman like that might exist. Where a woman who would find themselves so beautiful, they would get aroused. It seems almost impossible that such a woman would exist.
Yep. They
What are you saying?
They stare at themselves in the mirror and they think, I'd like to tap that ass.
Well, yeah, but then you don't actually get turned on, right?
No, these people do.
Well, we don't, but you do.
According to...
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So beautiful.
I'd hit that.
According to Dr. Michael Aaron, a New York City therapist and author of Modern Sexuality, The Truth About Sex and Relationships, it's extremely common for a woman to be sexually attracted to herself, and it is called autosexuality or autoeroticism.
Yes, so just the visual is enough to get this type of person worked up to the point of being orgasmic?
Well... No, not they're not going to stare at themselves and actually have the orgasm, but it will turn them on.
What about a person who wants to vomit whenever they see themselves in the mirror?
They didn't
Like
cover that.
myself.
Is that you?
Yeah.
In this study.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And as vain as it sounds to want to have sex with yourself because you're so hot, it's not narcissistic, apparently.
Because it's true.
The doctor said it's very common for people to be aroused by themselves to varying degrees. Some experience it more like an orientation in that they feel more aroused by themselves than by others.
So do they use themselves as a benchmark to compare other people to? In other words, will they not? Does someone have to exceed their own level of beauty to warrant a physical encounter?
I don't know. Another psychologist explains the easiest way to tell if someone is autosexual is from their self-pleasuring habits. If she's picturing herself and thinking about how sexy she is when she's doing that.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Is that how you do it, Kathy?
Stop
She's
it.
obviously an autosexual.
Are you thinking of yourself mostly when you're going at it? I'm asking in the most clinical of ways. We're gathering data here. When
listen.
you are there, when you're upstairs, when you've got the device, when it's plugged in properly, you have it in the power strip so it doesn't short out.
Need a surge protector.
Right, or a surge protector. How do you see yourself dressed in your mind?
God, I'm not answering you, but listen, I do think this is very bizarre.
Yeah? They said it's more common than you think. It says if you think you're dating an autosexual, you're probably not, though. It says, according to the original definition of the word by ego analyst Dr. Bernard Affelbaum, an autosexual is someone who has a great deal of trouble responding to someone else sexually, but can respond fairly or very well to his or her own touch.
Have you ever made love to yourself thinking of yourself?
No.
Yeah.
Not that I
I've
know
made
of.
love to myself thinking of you.
Oh.
Yeah. And we have to talk.
We do have to talk. No. That's, how is I don't even see how that's possible, but some people apparently
Would someone like this spend a lot of time looking at themselves in the mirror?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine that is definitely part of it. So.
Well, I don't know who would be like that.
Continuing on the sexual.
More stuff from the sexual world.
Yeah.
The noticer notices everything, even sexual stuff.
All right, this other thing I noticed, and this speaks to a few of the people here in this room.
This speaks to people in this very room.
It does.
The noticer has no pity on you.
Who here does not shower in the morning?
Me.
Nick and Casey.
I don't shower. I shower at night.
Nick, Casey, and Kathy are disgusting.
Marissa, you shower in the morning. No, you're showering right now.
She's a pig. They're all pigs except for two people.
She's pointing down. No, you shower at night?
She cleans everything but a cooter.
Ew.
Oh, my
That's wretched.
I thought
No,
that's what you
shower
meant.
at night.
She showers at night as
She
well.
showers at night. Okay, so Steve, you and I are the only morning shower people.
Oh, yeah.
But apparently...
Morning shower people. Shower every morning, it's true. Morning shower people. Shower for me and for you. It just seemed like a song, didn't it?
A folk song?
Yeah.
Is there a night shower people song?
Night shower people.
That's very similar.
Arrive at work very smelly. Kathy, Nick, and Casey, and little Marissa, too. They all smell so bad. We can hardly take it.
I like when I get up early enough to shower in the morning. I just don't. And I prefer to get that extra 20 minutes of sleep in the morning, and that's why I'll shower
If you
at
take
night.
a shower before you go to bed, you're fine unless you're a sweat ball. But to me, I use it as much for waking up as I do for anything else.
All right, so tell us what
Morning
is
shower people.
Morning shower people. Shower every morning.
All right, so a recent article at time.com extols perhaps the single best virtue of evening showering, noting that if you want to improve your sleep, showering at night may be the way to go.
Well, guess what? And this is going to be a surprise. I shower at night as well.
I know you do. And in the morning.
Experts say there's evidence that a night shower can help you drift off.
All right, do you...
Night shower, night shower. We all how to take one. Every night shower, night shower.
Grab it for the loofah. Get me in the shower.
All right, what were you were about to say?
I was going to ask if you shower fully.
Night shower, night shower.
You do that better than anybody.
Thank
Steve.
you. I got my higher end back.
All right, what were you going to say, Case?
Do you fully shower both times?
At night and
I
in the
do
morning.
military showers. I have no hair.
Yeah.
That cuts down on a lot of it. However, I at night I take a hot shower, a quick hot shower. In the morning I take a wake up shower.
Okay.
I don't know why I just enjoyed you saying, I have no hair.
The goddamn truth.
I just have
In
no
case you haven't
hair.
noticed, the same way Kathy pleasures herself to herself.
Oh my God.
I have no hair.
Do you guys ever wash your pubes with shampoo?
Oh, my God.
Every day. Why?
With shampoo you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Not
I do
soap?
No. Toothpaste.
When I'm washing my hair,
You then go downstairs.
I have soap in my hand, so
Right.
use it on your pubes.
He's got soap in his hands.
Use
For
it
his
on the
nads,
tubes.
he's got soap in his hands. For his nads.
This is getting ridiculous.
Get it?
And there are
We had 3 hours of sleep last night.
And there are real musicians in the green room listening to this.
They probably
I don't think they're listening.
We may be inspiring a new song
napping.
from Dorothy. Bedazzled Shimmer takes time. La La Land star Emma Stone was the belle of the ball at the Oscars, winning Best Actress, and she's absolutely looking the part. You should go back and see the photos, thanks to some seriously hardworking fashion folk. Stone's stylist, Petra Flannery,
That's who I use.
tells people that her custom Givenchy haute couture gown, custom made by Riccardo Tisci, took a mind-boggling 1,700 hours to make.
Oh,
Wait a second. Okay.
My God. Wait, I mean, you guys don't like to talk about this fashion stuff, but
I do.
had the best dress on at the Oscars. She looked gorgeous.
She did look gorgeous. But Kathy, I thought it was a really beautiful gown, but 1,700 hours.
Well, if you, there was all kinds of beads on it. The bottom was fringe. I mean, that's all handmade. You know, that's all done by hand.
All right, Miss Fashion Maven here. She also had a lot of the of glitter. It appeared glitter in her makeup. Mm-hmm. Did you notice, like around the eyes and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Is that stripper glitter thing still happening?
Well, I think that she did it a little bit more glamorously, not so I wouldn't
Not
call
like
it
a stripper.
glitter. But she looked great. Whatever she did, she looked gorgeous.
Do you think she's because Preston, that's your style there.
Yeah,
porcelain skin, red hair.
I think she is pretty. I think, once again, some people make her to be this stunning goddess. I just think she's very pretty.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, and she looked good.
Ricardo Tisci says it took over 1,700 hours and a team of 11 from the Givenchy atelier. He said it's a beaded wonder. When you see it up close, it's a marvel of various golden color shapes and sizes.
It's just incredible.
Yeah.
You get closer, it's like, oh my God, it's the Ark of the Covenant. I get weak in the knees. How alien is that world to us?
Oh, my God.
We can't even say the names of the places or the designers. I don't know it. I don't know who these people are.
I don't know. I think you'd do great as a commentator on the red carpet.
Yeah. I mean, who's the guy from Fashion
Yeah.
Gunn? Tim Gunn?
Yeah.
It's just crazy. Oh, you dominate.
No, I don't know. I can look and say, oh, you look nice in that, or that looks like crap.
That's pretty.
Pretty much.
I can see your boobies.
Yeah. By the way, I finally saw Amy Adams.
Yo.
Holy God.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not that really busty, but she sure looked like it in her dress.
Who looked? Brie Larson.
Yeah.
Did you see Brie Larson?
Yeah.
Whoa.
That was nice.
That's our commentary. Preston, check out the kids. Oh yeah. We should be like you're at the beginning. We don't even have the microphones. We're just yelling down the. Oh!
Yeah.
She's coming your way.
She's coming your way. Nips. What? Nips.
You guys would be kicked off the red carpet so fast.
Brie Larson showing nip.
Steve, the grade scale would be how many of those Marky Mark pals we tried. I give it 4 pals, man. Yeah. That would be it. Pow! Pow!
No, that's red carpet coverage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Steve, like on the other end.
Which one? Brie Larson! Ryan Gosling's sister!
Yeah.
Huge kids! I hear you. I'm waiting.
He's yelling over her. Yeah, she's on the way down.
Right here.
The Preston and Steve studio is the arena where the invincible men of Chi-Chi cooking skills await their challenge. Using all their senses, skills, creativity, and succulent delights, such as ramen noodles, canned chicken, and Doritos, the Iron Chi-Chi chefs will prepare new, original Chi-Chi never tasted before. Reputations are on the line in the Preston and Steve studio, where the Chi-Chi chefs pit their garbage bag creations against one another. What inspiration do our challengers bring? The heat is on. Who will be the Iron Chi-Chi chef?
So we'll spend a little bit of time recapping our evening last night. A few of us went to the game. Casey was there. Nick, Marissa, I was there. And by the way, Nick, Kathy's husband was sitting right next to us, by the way.
Oh.
Nick didn't know that the whole night.
I got in there right.
Man, Nick is really standoffish.
I feel like right now. I feel like a jerk because I didn't say hi to Dennis. But yeah, we got in like right after the national anthem. I wanted to get to the seats. I went the wrong direction in the aisle, and then I had to get back to the seats. So I completely ignored your husband, Kathy. I'm sorry, and your son.
Well, you got the end seat, so
Yes.
that was good.
It was nice.
And Dennis was all the way in the middle of the row, so I could see why he didn't see him at all.
It was really fun being there last night. I'm so disappointed with how it ended, especially with those close plays in the 8th and the 9th. But it was a great time.
Dude, just walking into the environment we got dropped off. My friend Jim and I did, so we walked all along Pattison and came around it, and we passed by. You know, everybody's mood was just fired up. We saw the tent where the Camp Out for Hunger is being set up and all that. And in fact, I got this email this morning. This is from Justin Rogers. He goes, "Hey, Preston, huge fan. I saw you recording our band tonight at the Phillies game. We were playing outside of the third base gate at the Liberty Bell. Noticed your phone as you walked by us." He says, "We are not Snack Time. We are Wofat Brass Band, arguably the best in the city." And he said, "Please give us a listen on Facebook, YouTube, etc." So yeah, they were a brass group out there with trombones and trumpets and everything, and they were just everybody. I walked by several people that were playing different instruments, and just it was a carnival atmosphere.
That's awesome.
Going into that. Once we got inside, then then you really get jammed in with people. But it was really electric and felt awesome. But obviously, the game was it was close. I mean, it was just they were just. And when you have close games, there are several disappointing moments that happen throughout. There were a lot of stranded runners, and that was disappointing to see.
You recorded on your phone a complete dichotomy. You have the joy of thinking there's a home run to realizing it was caught.
Yeah, in the 9th, where it's coming down to the wire, and Real Muto had hit what we thought so we were in right field. As the curve in the outfield continues, it goes in a little bit, so we can't see center field very well.
Right.
And we saw the trajectory of a ball that looked like it was going out. The crowd reacted around us, so we reacted, and we're thinking that's it. It's a home run.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was a hell of a catch all the way to the wall.
I had to break the news to Kathy's husband. I was sitting next to him because. I saw Real Muto stop running between first and second base, and I saw his hands go on his helmet, and and then Dennis is like, I can't believe that just happened. Yeah. And I'm like, no. I'm like, it didn't happen. I go, it didn't just happen.
Casey, I was watching, I was celebrating because I thought they had tied the game, and then I saw the Astros dugout celebrating because of the catch, and my heart broke. I thought it was a tie game at that point, and it wasn't.
Dennis, don't bother Nick. He needs this time.
I'll be crying down here.
Nick wanted me to point this out, that there was a pretty flaccid moment that happened where a guy ran out onto the field.
Yeah.
Okay. But he just kind of wandered out onto the field. Yeah. Normally you see somebody who's going for that attention. They are sprinting.
There's a mission.
They're flashing something. They're taking their clothes off. They're waving their hat around or whatever. This dude just kind of wandered out into center field and was kind of, I guess on his face was like, well, what do I do now? I don't know if his friends dared him or anything, but the crowd, they went after him, They booed him pretty hard. He did, as once security started running, because they went full-on sprint. Like, even though the guy wasn't running, they sprinted right at him, and he took off and he ran to left field and tried to jump up. He tried to climb back up into the stands.
He ruined the flow of the game. The game, there was a flow at that point, and he absolutely ruined it. And the pitch right after ended with a batter getting hit by a pitch. And I swear to God, if that ended up in some sort of a run,
it disrupted the mojo.
Yeah, if it ended up with the run scored, like, I would want to know who that guy is so we could tar him and feather him.
So what is technically what do you receive if you run out on the field? Is it a misdemeanor?
It's at least one night in jail and a pretty hefty fine. So my guess is, Steve, he did not have a very good night last night.
Right.
He ended up, they don't mess around when you do this.
I wonder if it's like what the official charge is, like disturbing the peace,
right?
Or trespassing, or I'm not sure what they stick you with if you do that. But
I didn't realize that somebody hit him in the head with a beer when he was trying to climb the fence.
Oh, is there video of that?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to see this. Hold on. We're watching a video on Instagram. He's trying to climb up. Yeah, so I threw the beer.
He wasn't getting support from the spectators.
No one wanted that.
When he wandered out into center field, I thought that it was like a staff member at first, because he just kind of stopped and he was right in the middle of center, and I was like, oh, that's just somebody from the ballpark making sure that they're doing. And then I was like, oh my God, that's a moron. And like, if it's a regular season game and it's kind of slow,
right?
I know that it breaks up the game, but I don't hate it.
Have a mission at least.
Yeah.
Bring back cheers.
Right. You get a little bit worried.
Yeah.
You get a little bit worried too that, like, all right, what's this guy gonna do?
Well, yes. That is the main worry. Mm-hmm. You have somebody who should not be out on the field. What's that about? Especially in a high-profile, well-attended event like this, security is on absolute high.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and no, I haven't heard any word as to who that guy was or what's going to happen.
Did you say Will Smith was there last night?
No, he was in Philadelphia, but he was not at the game.
All right, he went to his old high school, and Kathy had pointed out he's on the fix my
reputation,
my reputation tour right now, because he hasn't been to his old high school in God knows how long.
Improve my image tour. Listen, and I totally support that, because you guys know my next career. That's what I'm going to do.
Yes.
So I think that was good
right.
that he came back to Philadelphia.
Romano Incorporated.
I do love how baseball players, all of them, are so fan friendly, because in between innings or like foul balls and stuff like that,
right?
Like they throw the ball, and that means. My daughter got a ball. We got into the stadium early, and we did batting practice, and she got a ball at batting practice.
That's awesome.
And it's great. And so for a child, even for a grown adult, when somebody gets a ball thrown to them, it means a lot.
Yes,
it means a lot. And I think that they know that. And Nick Castellanos was doing it in between, every inning. But you would see him, Steve. He scanned the crowd. He's, just trying to find that one person who's going to, really love this ball, and he'd aim for that kid. It's just great, and it means everything.
That's tremendous.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made it a point to engage with the fans throughout the whole game, calling, 2 outs, and everybody was signaling to him, so it was really cool.
Well, stop and think about this. We talked about what this means in general, and as you've been saying, Nick, you're playing with house money, at this point, and it's nothing that had been anticipated. But talk about flicking the switch on, making the fan base love the players that much more, be that much more invested throughout the season next year.
Yeah.
I think the benefits are going to be multiple.
I promise I'm not being a Pollyanna about this. The series isn't over.
Yes.
We have Zach Wheeler going in Game 6. I know that he hasn't been the normal Zach Wheeler, but there are 2 games left in this series. And it was a best of 3 starting last night. The Phillies lost the first one. It's not looking great, but that doesn't mean that the series is over. And if any team can bounce back, I truly believe in these guys.
Nothing over!
Thank you.
That's a good point, Rambo.
Nothing is over!
It's a long road, you know?
One strike.
It's a long road.
It was a good time. It was just an unfortunate ending last night, but I'm glad I made it.
So many of those unfortunate endings. Statistically, that's why I do my part and never go, because I have never been in person. I have never seen a team that I'm supporting win.
Wait, that's not. Weren't you at the Flyers game? The last Giroux game this year?
I laughed.
Oh, jeez.
After the ceremony.
That was a win.
And if you remember, I knocked over a whole bowl of Aramark popcorn.
Oh, I did remember.
Oh, it was not my
All
win.
right, but you were there that night.
Yes.
And they won that game.
I guess conceivably, yes. I know that I'm poison when it comes to that.
Yeah.
And it just, but I would love to see a win, and then to see a World Series win would be amazing. But as you said, they're up 1 game technically, right?
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
that's
yeah, if you look at it that way. Trying to think of anything else from last night that I.
Well, while
share.
you're thinking, I think it was 3 seasons ago. The Astros were up 3-2, going back to Houston and lost. 2 games in a row.
Okay,
in Houston, I believe that the National Series.
That was the National Series.
Yeah, and so
and the Phils played well.
They did. They played well. They played much better last night than they did. When they got no hit 2 nights ago. So
Nothing's over.
I have high hopes.
Nothing's over.
Yeah.
Nothing's over.
Yeah, that's all I can do, dude.
Nothing's over.
I can't.
When he's in the booth, he's in the sports booth.
Hey, everybody, that nothing's over.
Yeah.
And when nothing's over, enjoy the great taste of Budweiser.
I will say, getting out of the parking lot was just absolutely the worst. And
How long?
I don't. You know what? I try to remain as calm as possible.
Right.
I thought I got myself, and Nick had even commented on it because he saw my car when he pulled into, because I got there early. I thought I was in a great spot that I was just going to be able to slide right out of there.
No.
I didn't. I actually, at 2 points, drove up on a sidewalk.
No kidding.
Yeah, because I was trying, my idea was that because I parked to the very, very left of this part of the lot, where all I had to do was just, I was right there to get right out, and I couldn't because all these cars were in front of me, and I would have to muscle my way in front of like a whole bunch of cars, and it wasn't my turn. So what I ended up doing, because there was nobody to my right, I backed up over the curb a little bit so I could turn and go to the right.
Let me ask you,
Yeah.
without giving away perhaps cherished family secrets.
Yeah.
Is there a secret? Is there a way that you will not just end up regardless sitting in traffic?
Leave before the game's over.
Yeah,
right.
leave
That's
before
it.
the game's over. But no, we, for Eagles games, when you have more, people than Phillies games, we park at FDR. We park at the back of the lot there, and it's a longer walk.
Yeah.
Yes, no, it's a long road. It's a long road.
To an hour as well. We were on the other side of the Wells Fargo lot, and it took a really long time. Steve, I think Game 5, and the game ended at midnight last night, so you don't have a ton of options. But Game 5 of the NLCS, my girlfriend and I went to Xfinity Live afterwards, and we waited there for only like 45 minutes or so.
Well, that's the perfect thing to do.
And then we had one drink, hung out, it celebrated with the fans, and then if you're just there to chill for a little bit, the parking lot clears out, and then it's just less stressful.
That's what it's there for.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
And what
Gotta have a Shirley Temple.
what I think is, and I'm not an engineer, but I think out in front of the Wells Fargo lot, the lights aren't green long enough.
Dude, the lights suck right there.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Let me ask you something. Do you believe that it would stand to reason that the lights get calibrated differently during
Yes.
I don't know how they're calibrated, but whatever the calibration is, it's wrong.
Well, sometimes you'll see a cop at the box.
Right,
At the
yes.
control box.
Yeah.
Who's working those things to make sure that, because they can eyeball the what needs to move at the time.
because like on Eagle Sunday, or you go from nothing to thousands.
Everyone. Yeah.
It's frustrating.
That's the tough part. It's getting out of there. So.
Well, there's an article in the Inquirer about if you're not a sports fan or even have any interest in sports whatsoever, this is not your time because there's so much going on. So this will be still the Eagles did phenomenally well. There's great stories to tell. The Union, and
that's tomorrow.
And as you pointed out, Nick, there's every possibility.
Yeah,
they take this,
and Steve, you and I have talked about this a bunch, but the fact that this World Series is happening in 2022, where we're all able to be there, that post-pandemic,
awesome.
just hanging out with fans, and I got to go with my dad a couple of nights ago. I got to hang with all you guys last night.
You got to ignore Dennis.
I got to ignore Dennis. He was at the end of the row. Didn't say hi to him once.
He literally said to me this morning, did Dennis go last night? Dennis and Chase there? I'm like, yeah.
I would like to point out something that I saw was kind of refreshing, because there was a group of Astros fans that were, I think they were like 2 rows off of the outfield down in front of us. And everybody got along great.
Oh, cool. That's probably the story more often than not.
I was watching. I'm like, please don't somebody do something stupid.
Some fat dude started jawing with him a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. Bubba noticed it.
Regular benign jawing, or I hope your mother dies jawing?
No, at one point it looked like the one Astros fan grabbed the other Astros fan and moved him to his other side to keep him further away from Fat Billy.
The competition will get the coveted Golden Shiv Award. That is correct. Which we have in the corner. Now, to paint the picture, our studio has been completely done up to mimic a prison. So we actually have bars on the windows. We have our various cell blocks, which are numbered and lettered. And we also have what you can and cannot do. There are some rules on the walls as well. In fact, it says privileges. You are entitled to food, clothing, shelter, and medical attention. Anything else that you get is a privilege.
Yes.
And we also have our prison commissary set up, which is being guarded by a full-size Hannibal Lecter statue that we have in the corner. And he is holding the Golden Shiv Award.
Yes.
And listen, guys, just to be nice, we're also going to throw in a couple of other things. We have some toilet wine that we have over there in the corner. We have an actual toilet in the corner with a jug of wine in it. You'll win that too. And we'll also give you a $100 Visa gift card. So we have our 3 judges. We have Nick, Michael, and Joe. Let's now meet our contestants this morning, okay? And their intros are short as well. Let's welcome Iron Chi-Chi Tim to the program.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
How are you, Tim?
Good. How are you?
Very, very good. Now, we're not going to go into the specifics of everybody's background and how they ended up where they ended up, but how long were you incarcerated?
3 months.
3 months. Okay, so a little bit of time, not a whole lot.
No, but you make a couple Chi-Chis a day, so.
Okay.
So a couple of days. Now Tim was assuring me. He said, emphatically said, don't dismiss this, basically. You're going to love the way this stuff tastes.
Really?
Correct, Tim?
I actually emailed Casey and I said I'd like to place a bet with everybody about them liking it because it is top-notch, guaranteed.
All right. Yes. Do you still make it, even though you're
Not recently. When I first came home, I was making it like every day still. You kind of get used to it and the flavor. And
you miss it.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay.
So.
All right. Well, that's Tim. Let's meet our next contestant, the second Iron Chi-Chi. Welcome, Chris, to the studio this morning.
Thank you.
Chris, how are you?
Doing well. You?
Doing well. And for how long were you behind bars?
24 months to the day.
Wow.
To the day?
To the day.
Wow. So you didn't get out for good behavior then?
Nope.
Okay. But how's your Chi-Chi?
It might be a little rusty. It's been a few years since I've been away on vacation, but it's all still here.
Vacation. No, Chris, that the fact that you stepped away from it might breed a little bit more creativity and improvisation.
A little bit. I have been a cook for about 20 years. That was my main profession. And then,
So you're bringing that wealth of knowledge into your Chi-Chi preparation?
A little bit.
Okay.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Well, good luck to you. And let's go over to our final Iron Chi-Chi. This is Mike, everyone. Let's hear from Mike.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good, man. How are you,
By the way, sorry for bothering you at work.
Oh, it's okay.
All right,
Sorry to bother you on parole.
can mention a couple things.
You sure?
Right, yeah.
Are you up to it?
I have a
Do
feeling.
you have to make?
Well, I've been. No, I don't.
Are you okay, buddy?
I don't have to make. Because I know we have some guests coming up later on, but I also want to squeeze in the connoisseur today and all that stuff if we can. But
oh,
sorry. No, let's take a break. Let's take a break.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, we'll do junk drawer.
I was all ready for junk drawer.
Well, we'll do the B file, and then maybe we'll do junk drawer after that. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, that's why I had this
or the
up.
connoisseur, one or the other.
Okay.
All right. So we'll take a break. We'll come back in a second. We're just trying to get it together, folks. Late night last night. But anyway, some bizarre file stories that we will return with in just a moment. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
On 93.3 WMMR.
Preston and Steve's Camp Out.
Mike, you can turn around.
What is DWHCF?
George W. Hill. George W. Hill Correctional Facility.
No kidding.
That's a Delco. Yes. Delco, baby.
What pride. Delco. What pride.
Hold on, they sell T-shirts, or did you make
No. I kind of took it with me when I left, even though you're not supposed to.
So you robbed the prison.
You took something on the way out of prison.
You gotta have a reminder to not go back.
Yeah.
So,
but it's not a Marriott.
Yeah. All right. So, for how long were you away, Mike?
A little over 7 months.
Okay.
I did 3 different times. One was a weekend, one was 12 days, and the longest was just over 7 months.
But you had your Chi-Chi experiences and your Chi-Chi preparation skills are up to snuff?
I actually emailed Casey. I told him Chi-Chis aren't even the best thing that they make there. So
yeah, he said he was going to make a Stromboli.
Wow. They call it a wrap in Delco. It's a Stromboli in where Tim's from.
Okay.
All right. And by the way, these guys all sat in the lobby together for a little while, and so they were sharing stories. None of them served time at the same place. They were all 4 different places.
Perfect. Then we might get 4 different completely. Foods are they're just different regions.
Italian cuisine
that will give you different tastes. So maybe we'll experience that as well. Okay. Are you guys ready to get started?
Yes.
All right. Let's Iron Chi-Chi. Head over to the commissary and get what ingredients you guys need. I see immediately that Tim is going for the cheese puffs and ramen noodles, and Mike seems to be still considering what he wants. Chris has grabbed a lot of macaroni and cheese.
We have enough for everybody of every ingredient. So
So I see Chris took all the ramen noodles.
There's more up there.
That's not right.
There's a whole nother.
That's good. They're sharing as you do in prison.
Yeah, not unlike Iron Chef. I mean, there's a pantry of items that you can go to. Now I see some Cheez-Its are being taken, or no, not Cheez-Its. Is that rice? I believe Tim has some minute rice, instant white rice.
Cheese Whiz.
Yeah, Cheese Whiz.
Refried beans.
Refried beans. Very good for that Mexican sort of flavor.
We have both Cool Ranch Doritos and regular Doritos.
Did you need beef ramens? Because that's top shelf right there.
Top shelf to
That is top shelf beef ramen right there, buddy.
What are the flavors of ramen we have, Casey?
Just beef and chicken.
Okay.
And did everybody? So everybody has the ramen. Did everybody grab a summer sausage? Is that the common ingredient?
I think they call it a beef stick, Casey.
Yeah, each person has grabbed one.
So they do have beef stick. Yeah.
Case, we know that at least one served in a Delaware County prison. Has anybody served in a Bucks County prison?
I think the rest of them, yeah.
Because I would imagine that's going to be like a higher class Chi-Chi.
Tim's doing a fist pump.
Bucksco. All the way. I'm looking at Chris. He's got a technique where he's smashing up the cheese puffs inside the bag.
That seems like a common
it
tactic.
all break down, so it's like a cheese sauce, no chunks.
Okay, and you're going to mix that with the hot water?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, all right. So
we used to let it sit in the sink and run the hot water over it. That would be the insulation idea he's using, but we're going to have to,
so there's
have to make it work.
Very similar techniques being employed here, but a different selection of menu items, which I think is intriguing.
Oh, you know what? Preston had a question yesterday about smoking in prison. Is it illegal to smoke cigarettes, and do people smoke? Yeah. But you can smell it though.
I can only speak on Bucks, but it is illegal to smoke in Bucks County Jail. Mm-hmm. People do smoke in the jail. But
if it's an infraction, though, they can send you to jail, can't they?
That's the thing that sucks, is you might actually get arrested.
All right, so if you were to smoke, where would you smoke?
I'm not going to say that you empty the toilet out and then blow the smoke through the pipes and flush the toilet. But if I had to take a guess right now, that would be my assumption.
So the toilet is just not for pooping anymore.
Oh, not at all.
It's an oven.
It's an oven.
It's an aeration system.
It's a hot tub at times.
It's a hot tub.
You bored?
Prison sounds great.
Bucks is also known as Bucks County
Country Club.
There we go. She knows.
We have a ripped bag. We have a ripped bag.
We've got more bags. I bought 1,000 of them.
There is. There's a mess all over the place.
Chris is helping out Tim. Cooks are coming together.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. By the way, Tim, that looks disgusting.
But it smells so good.
Does it really?
I swear it does. Although I'm a little. Tim might have gotten some contraband.
Oh, really?
No.
He snuck a packet of sugar over here.
Oh, no.
Casey,
That's allowed?
Sugar was allowed.
All right, that was one of the items. You can get that at the commissary. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put about a 10. What?
He called me a rat.
Snitches get stitches, bitch.
That's that golden shank.
Don't worry. Nick's already had the butt stuff. It's okay.
So, Mike, let's ask you about what our chefs are going to have here. If you were to describe this dish, what would you say about it?
It's basically like a poor man's mac and cheese.
A poor man's mac and cheese.
Okay.
Like if you took Franken beans and got rid of the beans part and made it with mac and cheese.
Okay.
Our judges, Nick Elmy, owner and head chef at Laurel, Michael Klein, who's been writing about food for a long time, and then Joe, who's actually done some time and had Chi-Chi on several occasions. Nick, what do you think of our first creation from Mike here, the poor man's mac and cheese?
10 for presentation, if we're grading on 10.
Okay.
It's like you took ramen and dumped mac and cheese on top of it with some spicy sauce and some sausage. I don't know. I would like to know what the sodium count is.
This is disgusting. I mean, no disrespect, Mike. Good. But
You really sugarcoated it.
it just doesn't seem like there's much to it. The ramen, you did get the ramen soft, which I'll give you credit for, but it's just, yeah.
It's just,
The presentation though was incredible.
Let's go over to Joe, the Chi-Chi master. Joe.
All right. Well, from an inmate standpoint, it's pretty bad.
Okay. We want to get that perspective.
It's wet. It's super wet, and it's not.
Oh, that's right. You like it dry. You had said that earlier. Okay.
Mine's pretty short and sweet. Never used the pickles before, so I just have the shredded cheese, some of the cheese whiz, beef stick, ramen, a little bit of hot sauce.
What do you think of this particular Chi-Chi?
Again, it's super wet. This one, there's less taste. It's I'm absolutely convinced that I only ate this stuff because I was starving.
Have you ever had a salt lick?
Yeah. You know what?
With cheese. It's
a salt lick with cheese. That's what you're calling this. All right.
Were you in for assault?
Michael, very good.
Sorry.
All right.
I do appreciate the added texture of what are those nachos at the end? The little bit of the jalapeno chips I put on.
Perfect.
To take it over the edge a little bit, right at the end. It does taste like someone found noodles and put movie cheese on top of it. But I mean, yes, I like it a lot.
Okay, he likes it a lot.
Really? Those words came out of your mouth?
Chris, write that down. Nick Elmy of Laurel says, I like it a lot.
Tim is garnishing the dishes.
Yep, and Marissa is handing them out now. So we'll start this time. We'll let the judges sample this, and it definitely looks completely different than the others. The other ones definitely had a very moist consistency to them, a little bit on the runny side as well. This looks dry. And we'll let our judges get a quick taste, so it's going to be completely different.
Much different.
Yeah, in fact, it's dense. This weighs a lot. All right, let's go to Michael Klein. You need a little bit more time on that, Michael?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
You sure?
Keep eating, Mike. Go ahead. I got plenty more.
I actually like this one the best. It's, even though there's more texture to it.
Okay. And that helps out?
I think.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Nick Elmy next.
I'm actually going to agree with that. Wow. It has a very rice and beans kind of flavor to it.
Okay.
The Doritos on top are pretty good. It's easily my favorite one.
Okay. And then let's go over to Joe. What do you think?
This is definitely the best one. So would you agree, Nick? That it's definitely the consistency thing, right?
Yeah, it's a consistency thing.
All right. So it is. It's time. It's officially time to find out who our Iron Chi-Chi champion of 2017, because we have to do this every year now.
I think so.
No.
Oh, we got to wait for some next people to get out of prison.
Let's go voting one at a time. We have Mike who went first, Chris was second, and then Tim was third. Let's start with Nick Elmy. Nick?
Yeah, I think Tim looks the most dangerous, so he wins.
So we have one vote for Tim. Let's go to Michael Klein.
I'll go with Tim also.
And is it going to be a clean sweep, Joe?
It is.
Tim! The Iron Cheat Sheet, Tim. Let's get a word from our winner, Tim. How do you feel?
I'm going to Disney World.
Yeah, even better news. Kathy cleaned out her closet.
Yeah. Wow.
You should put something up on social media about the journey.
I think it's very brave of you.
Yeah.
To get in there and
I really appreciate it.
and clean out your closet.
It was difficult for me.
There was an extra sock that was unaccounted for. She broke out her documents and her spreadsheets. I can't imagine a Kathy closet was in bad shape.
You needed help with this?
I know.
I'm telling you, it got
freaky.
It just got I was like overwhelmed.
Carrie.
And I've known for, a while now that I need to do it. And every time I would go to do it, I wouldn't get it done. And to be honest with you, I asked a couple people to come in and help me. People got canceled, whatever it was.
Some help and I need it now.
Stop.
Carrie, when you went in, did Kathy take mud and put it under her eyes and tie a red bandana around her head?
She's rosy.
Oh no! It's time. We're going in. It's gonna get bloody.
Oh
Carrie, these are the people I work with.
Wait a second. This still has a tag on it. I never wore it.
Doesn't this go on your legs?
Yeah. This go to my legs. I haven't shaved my legs.
Sorry, Carrie.
Great to work with.
Yeah.
She was an ideal client. I was asking her the questions. Kathy, do you really need 25 black, tank tops? No, you don't. When was the last time you wore this outfit? Do you want to wear this outfit again?
Tell them about my sock situation.
Exactly. Kathy probably had enough socks for probably about,
Coming back, being called sock wearers. People spit on, hey, where's your socks?
You should donate your socks to
Carrie,
high
how
school
much
kids.
did you sell Kathy's throwaway underwear for?
I was actually thinking of that.
Listen, I had bags of throw it out, bags of consign, bags of donate. I mean, there was a ton of
So you had
stuff.
plans for these. But do you have family members that you'll let do a once-over?
Yeah, like I separated it.
Yeah.
I organized the...
So you know who would
yeah, like I just...
maybe like something?
Right, exactly. A couple, and like nicer things. I'm not going to take my junk and try to pawn it off on somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's stuff that I threw out that I'm not, have stains on it, rips in it, like whatever it is.
This one has skid marks.
Listen,
you know that didn't happen in any of my items.
There's some pretty severe stuff. This one looks like an Ohio road map.
I kid you not. If you brought in old throwaway panties, we could give them away. We could
I'm not
absolutely
giving away my underwear.
We could auction them off for charity.
Absolutely.
How much?
Or like
When's your underwear going for?
we could even do like a buck a sniff or something like that.
Does it smell like cod or salmon?
You could do a kissing booth with your panties.
Yeah.
I did throw away a lot of underwear.
Yeah.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys read the sex issue of Philly Mag that came out last month? It was,
no.
There was it was an interesting read, but there was a woman who is now an escort, and the way that she got her start was by selling her panties online.
There you go.
Yeah.
There are, and we have not made this up. In Japan, there are vending machines that sell used, worn, they claim, worn panties.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a vending, because you're on the go,
right?
Your perversion doesn't stop, for anyone.
You got to get to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to grab a cup of coffee and a quick sniff, and I'll be in by 10. Yeah, that was our meetings at 10. Great. I have time for coffee, a bagel, and a quick sniff.
Quick.
I'll see you in 10 minutes, Yakamoto. Yeah, I'm going to have some coffee, put a woman's panties on my head, and then I'll be in.
On my way.
Yeah. Going to sniff the microfibers out of that sucker. I should see you by 11. Is that a conference call? Good, then I can keep the panties on my head.
Right, exactly. All right, and then finally, Tom Hiddleston does not want to talk about that time he wore that I Love TS t-shirt. So stop
Shut up!
about it.
Shut up, you whore!
Jesus.
We have audio of him on the Today Show. Shut up! Shut up!
Stinking whore.
God damn it!
All right.
Shut up!
Whoa.
All right. So
No, he was him. Savannah Guthrie asked. I think he does. He toes the line, and he is able to deflect these things, and he's a very nice guy and wants to talk about the industry and all that stuff, but he's trying to keep his private life private.
I have a different anecdote, but let's listen to this.
Okay.
This. Here it is.
I read a GQ profile of you, and don't kill me for asking, but of course, it was asked about your relationship with Taylor Swift. And I thought when I read it, I thought you gave really thoughtful answers, and I wondered, what it was like to kind of go through all that and to be in the public eye in that way. It must have been kind of...
It's already in the public eye. Anyway.
Yeah, I know. It's a stupid question.
Disconcerting.
Well,
WMMR.
All right, thank you, Kathy. We have a new Daily Rush video, and it is our conversation with Michael Imperioli, who was on just a couple of days ago. And the Sopranos star reminisces on acting with Hollywood's biggest tough guys, discovering meditation, and informs Steve that the finest eating establishments don't actually serve breadsticks. So it was a great conversation. We did it via Zoom, so you see him in the video as well. And you can be the first to see the new Daily Rush videos by subscribing to our YouTube channel, which is sponsored by Xfinity's Gig Speed Internet. You can learn more at Xfinity.com. We're gearing up for Camp Out for Hunger, which starts on Monday morning at the sports complex right outside of Xfinity Live. We saw the tent being constructed as we were at the game last night.
It's good to have the big tent back, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that thing, I'd forgotten how big that is until I saw it last night.
Yeah.
So we're getting fired up for that. And also our Wednesday night event, food trucks and fireworks, which would be Wednesday. The fireworks display starts at 8, but the lead-in with the food and everything, that starts at 5.
So, yeah, in fact, possibly a good idea on Wednesday would be to skip lunch and save that for later, because you will be eating your brains out.
Marissa did tell me, and I'll go ahead and tip her hand at this, that if for some reason, if we do have a Phillies World Series victory, we're gonna have to skip that event.
Right.
Unfortunately, because
No. We had a built-in rain date, right?
Oh.
Yeah, Thursday would be.
So it would move.
It's going to be Thursday.
Oh, I thought you missed. Thank God.
Yep.
Good. Okay,
Yep.
so
Oh, no,
all right,
yes.
there you go. So if that ends up happening, we will move that to Thursday. That's great. That's good news. So it's on like Donkey Kong, as I used to say.
Yeah.
So we have like 19 food trucks that are going to be there. Celebration Fireworks doing the fireworks display.
You'll be there.
I will finally be there.
Yeah. Hopefully.
And the weather, I know, right? I can still get sick between now and then.
I'm like taking vitamin C like crazy.
I need to do that too.
God.
I need to pump up, hit myself with some good cocktails.
My daughter's in a play. It opens tonight. It's Peter and the Starcatchers at Mary and Mercy. And and so she's playing Smee, which is Captain Hook's right-hand man. And it's essentially the Captain Hook origin story. And she started getting like a tickle in her throat a couple of hours. Like, oh my God.
Listen,
everybody's nice.
Last night at the game, while we were leaving, of course, it's the sea of humanity. I mean, like, Steve, like,
yes,
shoulder
to shoulder,
shoulder to shoulder. And I'm like, any one of you bastards is sick. I'm going to come back here and kill you. But, I didn't think to, like, bring a mask just in case or something.
I'm taking all the precautions. I spent like 2 hours pleasuring myself last night.
God,
2 hours?
I wanted it to.
Like, over and over?
Yeah. Yes, it does, Kathy.
Are you a doctor?
Yeah. The hell do you know?
All right. So, anyhow.
What if that does help your immune
It
system?
really does. It cleared my sinuses out.
If it helps your immunity system?
Immune system, yeah.
Maybe. I think there's something here.
I mean,
Marissa?
Oh, no.
Does it?
Finish what you guys were saying.
Marissa has something to say about pleasuring yourself.
Oh, my God. I walked right into that one.
By the way, I know we already recapped the game, but I spent the evening next to Marissa's dad last night and just had a blast.
He's great.
Yeah. He was
Do you remember
awesome.
when we went to the Masonic?
the temple. Yeah.
And he comes up to me and I go, "Who is this pleasant?" Oh, it's Marissa's dad. Yeah.
Well, at one point, and I had I wasn't driving last night, so I was partaking quite a bit in the beers. And I reached over to Marissa's dad and I grabbed him by both shoulders. I'm going, come on, big guy. And I just started shaking him.
I was the only last time I was this drunk. I was Superman.
Oh,
of course
God.
you were.
All right. Now, what were you going to say?
So we were talking about Camp Out for Hunger and food
Yes.
trucks and fireworks. There is a full list of all of the food trucks, plus
Excellent.
there's mentions of like Skelly's is going to be there doing the rides, and Five Below is participating for the first time. If you go to WMMR.com/campout, I'm actually updating the calendar of events that are going on and how to donate online. There's so much on the website. If you have any questions, lots of information.
And by the way, yes, we're going to be doing tons of stupid stuff like as we always do, and we'll have the full bands there and everything.
Speaking of that, I requested this because even though they played there last year, we will get a live version of this on the Friday at Camp Out for Hunger. Froggy will be there on Friday, and they'll play that song live for us.
So I had like a weird, pulling all connections together over this past weekend. What's the lead singer's name? Is it Morgan or Brooke?
Morgan, yeah.
Morgan. Okay. So I had a baby shower for my best friend. She has this beautiful barn. She lives in Upper Black Eddy, which is like really far away. And her mother-in-law wanted to do something special for her at the shower, and they wanted to have a chef come out and do like made-to-order omelets. We had a brunch.
Nice.
And so I reached out to our friend Kelly Kaplan, who comes on the show to promote her charity sometimes, because she used to own a restaurant up there. And I said, do you by chance know a chef that would be interested in doing this? It was Morgan's dad.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
That's
so
6 degrees of Froggy.
Right?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like, and I was like, oh my God, we love your daughter. We love the band.
Excellent. All right, so they'll be back and they'll play a couple songs for us. We have all our live bands throughout the course of the week. It's going to be a great time. All right, we have Bizarre File Stories.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Have we lost our stories?
Okay, all right, there's still in my briefcase. Hang on.
It was a long night.
Bear with us today.
I'm looking all over the place. I'm like, where the hell's my black paper clip? That's the one. Okay, here we go. It's brought to you this morning by Primo Hoagies. Watching the game with some friends this week. Score big and serve in style with Primo Hoagies. You can order online at primohoagies.com. Not just a hoagie, it's a Primo. All right, we'll start with this. Authorities in Texas worked with first responders to rescue a deer hunter who was stuck upside down 18 feet up in his tree stand. He said, they saved my life. He wanted to remain anonymous in the story, by the way.
Hey, big man.
The deer.
You're so stupid.
They're down there taunting him.
You know what? I'm going to drive over to your house and make love to your wife.
Deputy Corey LeBlanc said the hunter called 911 saying that he needed help getting down after falling out of his deer climb and became stuck. He said he was trying to reach his hunting partner but couldn't. He was able to call 911. We made contact with him. His friend helped us reach the exact location. He was high off the ground with his right foot wedged in the framework of his climbing stand. He said, the officer said, we maneuvered the brush truck beneath him. The fire department got in the back of the truck to support his weight. He had another climbing stand attached. I climbed that one and freed his foot. They supported him and lowered him to the brush truck, and we met the ambulance at a county road, but he didn't need treatment. It's a good thing that his foot was wedged in between the framework of the climbing stand.
Stopped him from falling, right?
He said, yeah, it's my first time dealing with this type of thing, but it happens. It's not uncommon. He said, my advice to hunters is that this is a prime example of the need to use a safety harness. He said he's lucky that his phone didn't hit the ground. He had been hanging long enough that his fluids and blood were rushing to his head. He'd been hanging for about an hour and a half.
Well, you remember you had a story about somebody who was hanging upside down who died just from hanging upside down.
It can eventually kill you. Yeah, so they got him out of there, and he's doing better now. An investigation is underway after a road train carrying tons of blasting material caught on fire and exploded in the remote Western Australian goldfields. A trailer load of ammonium nitrate emulsion, which is a material used in mine site blasting,
and making of Vegemite,
was scuttled by its driver after one of the wheels caught on fire about 1,000 kilometers east of Perth. The driver was able to decouple his truck and drive a safe distance before the flaming semi-trailer exploded. So he just left it there.
Forget it.
He just got the hell out
You
of
don't
there.
screw around with that.
The explosion occurred around...
I quit.
Noon, blasting a hole into the road about 1.5 meters deep and sending a cloud of hazardous smoke into the air.
Yes, Eddie, I quit.
Burning debris from the explosion was also sent flying into nearby bushlands, causing several small spot fires.
Wow.
A contractor at the nearby Gruyere gold mining operation, who did not want to be named, said that the blast was strong enough to be felt by workers at the mine. He said they ran out to see what went wrong and saw a huge white smoke ammonium cloud up in the air. So the nitrate was on its way to the mine. The incident was the latest in a spate of resource-related accidents to be investigated by authorities after 2 people had died in the state's mines within 72 hours of each other.
Oh, we're looking at the blast. You can see.
Yeah, it's a big one.
A big one, yeah.
A Chicago man has been arrested after allegedly handing weed gummies out to kids because he ran out of candy.
Oh, my God.
Well, he didn't want to not give them any.
Right, yeah. Jared.
Some of my thyroid pills are in there, too. I ran out of candy, and they kind of look like Tic Tacs.
Jared Phelan distributed bags of the Bears to the kids in South Chicago Heights. He said, I checked my 4-year-old daughter's bag, and yes, I found 3 packets of gummies that smelled like marijuana.
Here's some Beano.
According to a...
helps you with the farting.
You kids want some ginkgo? So an anonymous dad had said that, and Phelan has been charged with child endangerment. So far, the police are not aware of any children having eaten the gummies, but they are asking parents to contact them regarding suspicious packages.
Gummies can be very powerful, right?
Speaking of that very thing, oh no, this is a different story.
Okay, this just in.
Well, I had a story of they actually found someone had handed out candy with pieces of razor blades.
No, really?
Bringing that
following through on the urban legend.
The urban legend to the truth. It was in where there. Yeah, here we go. I'll just follow it up with this. Multiple razor blades have been found hidden in children's Halloween candy, and authorities have narrowed down their hunt for a suspect to a small neighborhood where the families may have been trick-or-treating for the holiday. Police in Eugene, Oregon, so that's where this happened, received a report of a small... Okay.
Good Lord.
Sorry, when we both have the same button.
This is what happens.
Ready, Casey? 3, 2, 1.
That got Kathy.
It was good, right?
It was like a millisecond
One more
off.
time.
It was
3,
great.
2, 1.
Okay, try it again. 3, 2, 1.
The thing that sucks is this button, it triggers on the, like, not when you touch it, but when you release the
Right.
button.
Yeah. So it's the opposite. The instant
So you
replay.
need to go a little quicker.
Okay.
Do it again?
Yeah.
Again,
All right.
yes.
3, 2, 1.
There you go.
Pretty good.
It's called the chorus effect.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
So there's a story here?
Yeah, there is.
Razor blade.
Small razor blade was found hidden in their children's Halloween candy earlier this week. The razor appears to be something similar to a pencil sharpener blade.
Not going to do it.
The initial reporting party lives in the friendly neighborhood of Eugene.
Not so friendly.
And discovered the small razor blade after checking their child's candy prior to allowing them to consume it.
Do you remember when it was all? It seemed to be quite common that hospitals were offering
Free X-ray.
for the candy.
Yeah. So anyhow, this is legit. They're trying to track down who did that. All right, I got time for one more. One more story that is not anywhere
Eugene-based?
in the state of Oregon. A woman in North Carolina was cited on Monday because she was accused of shooting at Mountain Dew bottles because she didn't approve of her father drinking them.
Oh.
So she was shooting at the bottle. Well, what did the bottles do to her?
Exactly.
Shoot at the father.
Shoot the dad.
No.
Oh, no.
No.
Disregard that.
Smash the bottles over the dad's head.
Police said officers responded to reports of multiple gunshots in a residential neighborhood of Gastonia on Monday.
Gastonia.
To find a 64-year-old woman with a revolver in her backyard. The woman was reportedly shooting at 4 Diet Mountain Dew bottles.
Well, at least the dad was trying to be health conscious.
Police said the woman told officers she didn't approve of her father's affinity for the soft drink. Police said in a news release, "We totally understand that not everybody's a fan of the dew, but we can't stress enough how dangerous this is.
Shoot the dew.
There are much safer alternatives to disposing of beverages that you don't like instead of using the full bottles as target practice in your backyard, in your neighborhood, surrounded by other homes and people." Authorities said the woman was issued a criminal citation for discharging a firearm within city limits.
You know, like when you were growing up, there are places. My brother-in-law lives up in Wyndham, upstate New York. You can go out in his backyard and shotguns.
There are some places
yeah.
that yes, you can fire off rounds and not have to worry about it. Casey, can you do that Eugene live? You can still do that, or you think no?
Probably. Eugene.
It's a more mature. It's a more mature Eugene.
Eugene.
He's all gross up.
Yeah. Oh, hang on a second.
That was Rat Boy, right?
Yeah, I might have something for you.
Hang on. All right.
Eugene.
Your table's right this way.
All right. I think we should take a break.
Good to see you, Rat Boy.
And
This is Tasha and Natalie. You know Eugene. He's the Rat Boy.
wait, but Rat Boy, Eugene was Rat Boy's friend, right?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Actually, what my impression is of, it's an impression of an impression.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever actually seen Rat Boy.
I have.
Yeah.
All right.
It was directed by Sandra Locke, who was, Clint Eastwood's main squeeze for the longest
I
time.
know her.
Yeah.
God. I just pulled up the trailer for Rat Boy.
It's horrible.
It's awful.
A guy who looks like a rat.
Steve, tell me you didn't see this in the theater.
No.
Okay, all right.
So in the early run of the home box office, this was a movie that ended up constantly being played.
Poor Rat Boy.
Yeah. Who was Eugene in the movie? Is there a Eugene?
That is a good question. Hold on a second. Nick is looking. I don't see anybody named Eugene in the cast. Okay.
I'm going to have to find out why that was associated with Rat Boy.
I thought his name was Eugene.
In my world, I need to find out.
Rat Boy might be Eugene.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought that was his proper name.
We have a listener. I think his name's Mike, and he lives in Eugene, Oregon. And so he'll message me on Instagram from time to time. And the way that he always writes it, he's like, "It's Mike from Eugene." Every single time.
Eugene.
Okay.
It's just terrific.
All right.
All right.
Are we doing a show tonight?
Glad we got to the bottom of that. We're going to take a break. I know
right.
we're doing that. We'll come back in just a moment. Don't forget that Adam Conover is going to be here this morning. He's doing Helium Comedy Club. You know him from Adam Ruins Everything. So he'll stop by today, and we have a few other things to get into. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Shut up!
I'm gonna hit you! Make a clear distinction between my work, which I absolutely dedicate myself to, which is for the public. I really believe in that relationship between an actor and the audience. There is no, you can't call yourself an actor without the audience. And my private life is private.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Listen, there's enough to talk to this guy about outside of his 10-minute fling with Taylor Swift, which has been over for a long time now.
He's got a major movie coming out.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, I could see him definitely as James Bond. If Daniel Craig, who I think is phenomenal, steps away from it, he could definitely do it.
I think he'd be great. So anyway, in this other interview, the Telegraph reporter asked him if he regretted the relationship and the publicity and all that stuff.
What I will regret is in about a minute when I fart into your mouth. Which I'm going to do. I'll regret it for the briefest period of time, and then I'll smile. Because I've known I've shut you up. By floating a fecal cloud down that gob of yours. And asking such a ridiculous question.
According to the reporter, Hiddleston responded testily, asking him, "What should I regret in your mind? I would rather not talk about this if that's all right."
Yeah.
He continued, reflecting, saying, "I'm just thinking about this. Everyone is entitled to a private life. I love what I do, and I dedicate myself with absolute commitment to making great art and great entertainment. And in my mind, I don't conflict the two. My work is in the public sphere, and I have a private life, and those two things are separate."
Yeah.
And now I'm going to fart in your mouth.
And now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to blow an air biscuit down your gullet.
Yeah. Finally, it's pretty cool, man. Coming up June 2nd is U2's Joshua Tree at 30 collection, which will be released in numerous CD, digital, and vinyl formats. According to the band's press release, alongside the 11-track album, the Super Deluxe Collector's Edition includes a live recording of the Joshua Tree Tour 1987 Madison Square Garden concert.
Wow.
Rarities and B-sides from the album's original recording sessions, as well as 2017 remixes from Daniel Lanois, St. Francis Hotel, Jackknife Lee, Steve Lillywhite, and Flood.
What would you expect to pay for this amazing record package?
He does his own K-Tel commercial.
Yeah, he does a commercial for it. Yeah.
Hi, it's Bono. You caught me in the living room just listening to some great tunes.
He's just there with the. Is that clearly not his paneling on the walls? Clearly not his living room.
Is that the Joshua Tree?
Well, yes, it is.
Well,
now you can own the Joshua. Yeah, turn it up.
Turn it up.
Now you can own it in your very own home.
So the package will also include an 84-page hardback book of unseen personal photography shot by The Edge during the original Mojave Desert photo session in 1986. Stephen, that commercial, The Edge should be in the kitchen.
Right, yeah.
And he's making lunch.
Are you telling the people about the collection? Yes, I am. And look at this incredible coffee table book. With lots of pictures out of focus.
The Edge commented in his introduction to the newly published book of photos, saying, when I see the people we were back then, I see a bunch of pilgrims on a journey towards some kind of creative home.
Yeah.
And I think that really does capture the spirit of the band at that time.
I think that's my favorite look of the band, the Joshua Tree period.
I agree. Yeah. They had a cool appearance about them. I think the album is a masterpiece. I think it's exciting that they're going to play it and they're going to be in Philadelphia.
Did you get to hear Pierre yesterday?
No, but I heard Jackson yesterday, who didn't even know that they were going to be playing the Joshua Tree while they're coming to town. But no, I know that Pierre tracked side one vinyl of Joshua Tree, and I missed it, and I wish I would have heard it.
I don't know if it was special vinyl that he had, but I went to this studio when he was getting ready for the Workforce Blacks yesterday, and he had that vinyl out, and it seemed heavier to me for some reason. I'm not sure.
Apparently it makes a difference in the world of phonographs.
That is what I have in music news for you. Hope you enjoyed that little treat for you this morning.
No, Marissa has it.
Little Ned.
Hold on.
There we go. Oh, that's the very one. The very album in question.
Oh yeah, it's definitely.
What'd you expect to pay for this heavy record?
It's
that thing must weigh 20 goddamn pounds. It's like a manhole cover that plays music.
You can feel it. In
180.
weight. Absolutely.
Yeah. Marissa says it's 180.
180 pounds.
It's 180 pounds.
That's a good 50 pounds more than the original album.
180 grams.
We've just we remastered the Joshua Tree on Captain America's shield.
Yeah.
It's vibranium.
Vibranium. You can listen. This is one record you can listen to in a moving truck.
Right. Okay.
It absorbs all the vibrations.
Yeah. All right. So they're coming out with a special edition.
I love that album. I love the album artwork.
Yep, it's fantastic. Nick might be going to Joshua Tree.
Yes,
yeah. About that, right?
Talking about a trip out to Los Angeles, and it is now my goal in life to get to all of the national parks in this country. So there are two relatively close to LA. One is called Channel Islands, out in the ocean in the Pacific, and then the other one, which is a little more accessible, is Joshua Tree.
Nick, why didn't you ask Steve if he's been to the Joshua Tree?
Hey, Steve, have you been?
Casey's been there too.
I was just there in October. I was expecting to see more Joshua trees. I didn't see one.
There are a lot of Brad trees and a few Eddie trees, but there's no. They're actually few and far between.
Did you go to Death Valley as well?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I've been.
Have you?
Yeah.
I want to get to that one as well.
The national park?
Yeah, I want to get to all the national parks. I think Yosemite's at the top of my list, but that's a little too far from LA, I think. So,
Yosemite. Sorry, that cracked me up.
Could have kept it inside.
He said
Some of your friends
Yosemite.
may have mental issues that need to be tended to.
Oh my God.
Hi, this is Bono with a serious message. Sometimes people randomly yell out Yosemite. They need to be corralled and taken in for medication.
Hey, Casey's justification was he said Yosemite.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a park.
It worked for me. Yeah.
But there are certain things that should kick in that, like, to keep you from pooping in public.
Right.
And yelling Yosemite for no reason.
Is like Yosemite a name or something?
Yeah. Yo, Yosemite.
Okay. All right, got it.
Get over here.
Yeah, you big lug. Amanda Seyfried and Thomas Sadowski secretly eloped on March 12th after less than a year of dating.
It's such a secret, I don't care.
They are expecting their first child as well.
So he's the dad.
The newsroom actor broke the news on the Late Late Show with James Corden Thursday night after Corden noticed his wedding ring. Sadowski said, "We eloped. We just took off into the country with an efficient and just the two of us, and we did our thing. We had a great day, and it was perfect."
I actually like him. He's a funny comedic actor and a good serious actor, so I approve of this. Please let them know.
The sole guest of honor was Seyfried's Australian Shepherd named Finn.
It's an honor to be here.
What the hell's that all about? Her Australian Shepherd?
Their dog?
Oh.
It's okay. It's a Monday morning, man. It's all right.
No, I thought it was legitimately an Australian. I thought they had a group of
well, you know what? I don't know.
Sheep.
Maybe they do.
And they tended them.
And of course, I had to leave the sheep for a little while, but I wouldn't miss this for the world.
Probably
I was
their
just
dog.
kidding.
I'm not a dog guy.
Obviously.
I'm a shepherd.
What do you do?
Hey, I'm here for the Seyfried wedding, and I'm the only person here.
Generally, a guest of honor is not a dog.
No.
Yeah. So,
It doesn't usually make the news story either.
And I'm an idiot. They wrote their own vows. And
It was lovely.
Finn gave a great speech at the reception.
I gotta say, I'm
afterwards.
a little nervous. I've been known more for my shepherding skills and the kind of man who gives a speech at a wedding. But I gotta say, it was quite an honor and a little bit of a shock to receive the invite.
Casey, do we have any crowd ambiance of?
Just want to say a few words about the couple. Imagine my surprise, standing out there in the outback playing with didgeridoo, tending my flock, and here comes Western Union with an invite. It was mostly a shock because I'm not even friends with these people, but I'll go anywhere if you provide airfare and a hotel. I understand they'd reached out initially to a soothsayer, but decided to go with the shepherd.
All right.
They were going to get their German Shepherd to show up.
Now that I would have known. That I would have known.
It's good to be here.
Anyhow, they wrote their own vows. And,
Always a mistake.
Sadowski described their ceremony as beautiful.
Yeah, he was great.
He expanded saying, "Listen," she said, "the person who I love, admire, respect most in the world, it was she didn't say that. She said, listen, she's the person.
She told me I'm the person she admires most in the world.
Who I love, admire, respect most in the world. And it
It's a
is
little cockeye, don't you think?
everything that it should be. It was just the two of us talking to each other.
WMMR.
All right, thanks, Kath. I think since it is Friday, we should dive into the world of the connoisseur and find some things about food for you.
It's time for the connoisseur, the throaty voice edition.
Yeah, it was a little rough last night. A little late night, a little screaming and yelling.
Yes,
but I still got some good eats. Oh, Casey, can you hand me the bell? It's right over there on the other side of the instant replay. I need to get our first story in. So here we go. National Donut Day. The November 5th version happens tomorrow.
Another one. This is we know that that Squeeze has the most birthdays of any band, but National Donut Day seems to be the one that ends up with the most quote unquote national days.
See, here's the deal though. It was June 3rd was National Donut Day, DONUT. Tomorrow is National Donut Day, DOUGHNUT.
So is there a technical difference other than the spelling?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
because like Dunkin', when they were Dunkin', now they're just called Dunkin'.
Yeah.
When Dunkin' Donuts, it was spelled D-O-N-U-T.
Yeah.
Right? But I had always thought the proper spelling was D-O-U-G-H.
As in doe.
Yeah.
A deer.
I think it's one of those
female
words,
deer.
one of those words that is literally evolved, and now the D-O-N-U-T is a proper spelling, like ketchup.
Yes.
It used to be catsup.
Yes.
And then the pronunciation was ketchup, so they literally changed the spelling of it, and the acceptable spelling in the dictionary now is ketchup with a K.
How do you, is it K-E-T-C-H-U-P?
Yeah, but technically it's C-A-T-S-U-P.
The first spelling was E-U-G-E-N-E.
Right, and how do you say that?
That's spelled Eugene? That's bizarre.
Eugene. Donuts, I have a love-hate relationship with donuts because I love them. And when they are available, I find it very difficult to not avail myself of them. They are kryptonite-like for me. Not as much as chocolate chip cookies, right? But give me the right donut. Yeah.
Okay.
So apparently, donut, D-O-N-U-T, is rarely used outside of the United States. So it's just us.
In fact, they'll kill you.
Okay.
What did you say?
So, and by the way, I want to remind you, Kathy, did you ever make the homemade donuts? You remember you texted me about that?
I did. I bought everything and
How were they?
everything in the 2 ingredients. And
and it was too much.
You know, Preston, now it's actually the donut on our car.
and I never made them. Wait.
So it's easy. You get canned biscuits. You cut a hole in the middle, and then you fry them in oil, and then you can sprinkle sugar on them.
You could do that simply falling in your kitchen.
Wait, I have a question though about the oil because it shoots up.
1040
and it,
weight?
burns your hands and stuff.
Oh my God!
Right? I'm like, is there a way around that?
My beautiful hands. I just paid for this French manicure.
No, haven't you ever cooked bacon or anything like that? You get
well, yeah,
you get oil.
Cookies does.
You get grease, you get oil, it pops up.
So I'm not doing it wrong.
Yeah, it pops. That's part of the deal. You get those almost badges of honor.
Yeah. No, that's just part of it. If you're cooking with oil, you're usually
then I'm out.
Forget it.
Now you're cooking with
Too
oil.
dangerous.
That is dangerous.
Donuts are dangerous.
So, partake upon National D-O-N-U-T Day.
What's your favorite donut?
I'm sorry, D-O-U-G-H-N-U-T. The first one I'll go to if there's a variety,
a donut buffet.
Yeah, if somebody went to Dunkin' and they got the dozen of different types, the one that I will go to first without question if it is in there is a cruller.
Okay, very light and airy.
Yeah,
though surprisingly high in calories.
Very much so.
Right, because it's all butter.
The flavor is very, very concentrated. And if I have an option, I know, Nick, you're going to cringe, but if there's a coconut donut, I will go for that next. Specifically,
toasted coconut?
Toasted
Yes.
coconut.
Yes!
And then I just like plain old glazed donuts.
Yeah.
Chocolate
That's my
glazed
favorite.
chocolate glazed donut.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disperse. I didn't mean to disparage the plain old glazed.
Don't say plain old.
Okay.
Okay.
What's wrong with you?
The rudimentary, the basic,
wrong
the
with this
base
guy?
knuckle dragging donut.
Steve, when you say chocolate glazed, do you mean the chocolate icing?
Well,
the chocolate,
yes,
or the
thank you
chocolate donut?
for the delineation here. The chocolate donut with the glaze.
Yes.
Yeah, he
So the actual
that's good.
chocolate
It's
donut.
a chocolate,
Donut is
chocolate
chocolate
cake
itself.
donut, and it is glazed.
I will ask you this then: if you get a regular glazed donut with the chocolate icing, are you going?
It's okay.
Really?
It's all right. To me, the chocolate cake, and then I'll tell you what is a strong follow-up to that would be the blueberry
Glazed.
donut glazed.
So the actual the cake part of it is
Yes,
the
I'm
blueberry. Those are good
cake-centric.
too.
Yeah, the pumpkin glaze is just like that as well, and that's pretty good.
You know what? I have not tried that, though. I do tell you, with all honesty, their pumpkin lattes are to die for.
By the way, the sprinkles on donuts, you can shove those up your ass.
Right up your butthole.
My kids love those.
And by the way, are they the same as Jimmy's, but we just call them sprinkles because they're on donuts?
They're exactly that.
Jimmy's is a Philly thing.
You wouldn't call Jimmy's. Yeah, I got like my donut with Jimmy's, would
You
you?
know what they call them in the
I would.
Midwest?
Would you? Okay.
Eugene's.
Eugene's.
No, yeah, Jimmy's is a Philly term.
No, I know
but,
that.
but
Yeah.
I think you're right. I don't think people say I'll take the donut with Jimmy's.
Usually it doesn't say on the
take the
little menu.
donut.
It'll say like strawberry frosted or chocolate frosted. It won't say. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, there's two separate.
No, you're right.
kinds.
You're right.
All right. We could talk about this all day, but We got other things to go to. Order up.
Other fish to fry.
Moving on.
We're like the
without
Captain America of
solving
donuts.
Let's see here. A new recipe that extends fresh pasta's shelf life by 30 days has been developed by Italian scientists.
That pasta you're eating, it's 8 months old.
No.
What do you mean, after cooking it?
No, the fresh pasta.
Oh, all right.
So if you've ever had that, and some you can buy those in stores sometimes, but they'll stay more shelf stable. So they created new packaging
by adding asbestos.
And no,
they're making it not as fresh.
They added bioprotective probiotic cultures to the pasta
Sounds
dough.
delicious.
That makes
You like
it
it at the probiotic?
last longer. So until now, refrigerated fresh pasta had a shelf life of between 30 and 90 days. The new recipe, described in the journal Frontiers in Microbiology, promises extra shelf life without artificial additives and synthetic ingredients.
Do you know, and if you've ever had, and I think we all have had, fresh pasta, there is a massive difference. Do you know what I happen to really be enjoying these days? The cauliflower pasta. Have you?
Yes.
It's an option. Yeah.
They
You like that?
They have cauliflower gnocchi, and it's so good.
Gnocchi?
Yeah.
What?
Like a donkey?
That's how you say it.
Gnocchi.
Gnocchi?
You added an extra N in there.
Oh, wait a minute. No.
Gnocchi.
Genicetti.
Genicetti.
Yeah.
Let's
That's what Dennis calls it, right?
I'd like to have a broccoli donkey, please.
Preston, when you make like spaghetti or linguine or whatever, more often than not, whenever anybody makes it at home, you put in too much, right? There's usually too much pasta.
Yeah.
How long will you keep that as a leftover in the fridge?
That's a good question.
Oh,
'Cause for me, it's
leftover pasta's killer.
Yeah, you guys know me. Like, I'll keep stuff for far too long.
Yeah.
But with pasta,
I think it's
like
too dried out.
I do too. It's usually like a day, maybe two max.
You just add water to it.
Yeah, but like for whatever it is, case, like I don't.
Water.
When it's done, for me, it's done.
No.
Here's something you might want to try is before you put it in your container.
Yeah.
Is add a few drops of olive oil in there and mix it up.
I like this.
And then
bit of
seal it,
Popeye.
and that should keep it a little more fresh.
You know, I saw one of the dumbest life hacks. He's like, these hacks are going to change your life, right?
Yeah, don't call it a hack.
Yeah.
Unless it is actually a hack.
It was so dumb. It was, okay, so when you open your spaghetti box and you put some spaghetti and you cook it, okay? What you do with the leftover...
Stop betraying all the secrets.
Hang on, no. What you do with the leftover spaghetti that's left in the box, put that in a Pringles can. You know, empty Pringles. How about you just keep it in the spaghetti box?
Right.
You don't need a Pringles can.
Here's what I do.
It's so dumb.
I take the little spaghetti. Do you do this? And do like rapid fire chews along the.
No, everybody else.
When I was a kid, I did that.
But
yeah, I gave that up.
I gave that up.
So anyhow, the pasta can spoil easily. Fresh pasta can, particularly in products made for people who prefer natural or clean label food without artificial or synthetic ingredients that extend shelf lives. To combat that, the researchers had created a clean label pasta that is far less likely to go off in order to control microbial growth. The team changed the ratio of MAP gases and the combination of plastic films used to store the goods. A multi-strain probiotic mixture was also added to prevent the growth of bacteria.
You know what they're adding to it? Ajax.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty wild. Hey, question for all you guys. You can only have one pasta for the rest of your life. What kind of pasta is going to be?
Am I on death row, or is it just the only one I can eat for the rest of my life?
You're going to live for another 50 years. You can only have one.
I am a fan of angel hair pasta.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I'd probably go with linguine. Linguine's I like the pasta just a little bit thicker. Thicker. Shut up.
Do you like your pasta thicker or more thicker?
You can't say anything around.
I know.
How do you like your donkey?
You said
I've had some donkey with a little teeth.
I like my donkey thicker.
I like my donkeys a little thicker.
Oh.
3 hours of sleep.
I know. It does it to you.
I know how you feel about it, Casey, but is lasagna on the menu?
Is lasagna pasta?
Yeah, it is, right?
That it's on the menu.
Lasagna is certainly, Nick, that is so. And I'll say this too, for ziti and lasagna, I do like it a little overbaked.
Have you come around on ziti?
Oh God,
you're all right with
I was
Okay, all right.
was scarred by my second grade cafeteria.
Right.
Traumatizing situation. I threw up. I had. Let's put it this way. I had elementary school ziti. So I'm sure it wasn't prepared by, an
But
Italian
nowadays,
chef.
yeah.
And so I threw up, and I was laughed at and mocked. And so
Mocked?
that's and so it scarred me. But I do love ziti.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So you going lasagna?
I think, my mom makes a really good lasagna, and if at death row or rest of life, either option, I think I'm going mom's lasagna.
One of my favorite dishes is spaghetti bolognese.
Yeah,
with,
that's good.
Angel,
Yeah.
and with a little bit of donkey.
What about you? What about you, Cat Donkey?
You know what? I don't know.
Oof.
I'm not like a huge.
You're Italian.
Yeah, I know, but we're not like.
I thought she was Puerto Rican.
We're not huge pasta eaters.
Okay. I'm going tortellini to answer my own question.
Very nice.
Tortellini.
The problem with pasta, I believe, is that your eyes are always bigger than your stomach, and you'll always end up.
You go to like a Fellini
misguessing.
cafe, man.
Yeah.
There's no. You are definitely going home with leftovers.
And when you get bottomless pasta, forget why. You don't need that.
You're filled within the first two. When I ordered, not knowing that Maggiano's was family style.
Right, yeah. Like Buca di Beppo. It's the same thing,
yeah.
Oh, those still aren't around, are they?
Yeah.
Tonight you come good night. We have extra fresh donkey.
It's thicker.
It's thicker than the regular donkey.
Don't you hate the anemic donkeys? Which are looking all bony and they can't even go, yeah. They just go,
That's like Olive Garden, right?
Buca di Beppo?
It's a little step up. A
Is
step
it?
up.
Yeah.
I think so. And by the way, not to smear Olive Garden, I think Olive Garden has one of my favorite lasagna dishes. Yeah, so there you go, everyone.
Yeah, okay.
The more the merrier.
All right. Next order. We're going to talk about cheese for a moment here.
Cheese.
When you gather 4,434 cheeses from 42 countries in one room to find out which is the best, there's inevitably a sense of excitement in the air and a very, very powerful smell.
This is great.
So this was at the United Kingdom on Wednesday. It was at a convention center. They had essentially the World Cheese Awards.
Okay.
250.
Was the Pope was expected to show up, did he?
No, but there were 250 international judges. They sniffed.
Cheese. Yeah.
They sniffed, prodded, and chomped their way along tables that were filled with cheese to decide which would take the crown.
Cheese would represent a 180 in my life. I was never a massive fan, and now cheese flights and cheese pairings and all that, love it.
I've always been a big fan of cheese. It started with like the Hickory Farms things, which I kind of now scoff at a little bit. But when I was a kid, I would get those for Christmas, and I'm like, this is the greatest.
If you love cheese, are you afraid to meet it because it might be a dick?
Yeah.
You should never meet your hero cheeses. So this year's winner is a Gruyere from Switzerland. It was eventually chosen by
Richard Gruyere.
A panel of top judges after the field had been whittled down to first to 98 Super Gold champions and then to a final 16. Judges described the Le Gruyere AOP Surchois, entered by Swiss cheesemaker Vordelflutgen.
All right.
And Fineur Gourmino.
You like to taste?
You can say all those words, but you can't say thicker.
It's one word that I messed up this morning. One.
You pronounced flawless.
Yeah. I've spoken thousands more words than you have this morning so far. All right, anyhow.
Jumping all over you.
Anyway, so they describe it as really refined, handcrafted cheese that melts on the tongue and has notes of herbs, fruits, and leather.
I'm on board. I love sucking on leather.
Boy.
My ball gag is made.
This tastes like a shoe. This is fantastic.
A little bit. I taste a little donkey in there.
They said that it was a cheese with a lot of taste and bouquet.
What is your favorite cheese? I asked it for the donuts. We asked it for the pasta. By God, I'm going to ask it for the cheese.
That is a very good question.
I know mine. Manchego.
Manchego cheese.
I love Manchego.
I think mine's it vacillates. It depends on mood or whatever. But Steve, I bought this horseradish cheddar. That is great.
All right.
I'll bring you some.
No, I'm definitely.
Do you like horseradish?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yes, it depends on how it's employed.
Yeah, all right. There's not too much here. It's like hints of it.
My go-to cheese anytime if I'm going to create like a cheese platter or something like that is one that's called Prima Donna, and it is a Gouda. It's a Gouda cheese.
It's a Gouda cheese.
But it's a type of Gouda cheese, and that one you can't go wrong with. It's fantastic. But I really like a really good blue cheese. I love it. And you should always have. I've heard like you should have a cheddar. Excuse me, a cheddar, a Gouda, and then a blue, and then some other type of soft cheese like a brie or something like that. If you want to do a nice spread. But I love brie cheeses too, man. They're fantastic.
I love. I do everything you've mentioned. I do love. It's probably considered very pedestrian cheese.
Yeah,
Monterey Jack.
Yeah. Well, I like pepper jack.
Pepper jack as well. Pepper jack.
A really good strong cheddar is a great a great cheese. To
You know who makes really good cheddar is Cabot.
Yeah.
Cabot's line is really good.
They really do. We've been getting this cheese, and it's usually on sale around this time of year. It's a reserve cheese from, I believe, Wisconsin called Rush Creek Reserve.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was good.
You have to heat it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's the kind of cheese they use for that bread that goes that comes around? We were just talking about it.
The raclette.
Is that what it is?
That's the name of the cheese.
Yeah, I believe so, Case. Yeah, it's a Swiss cheese as well, or a Swiss recipe. And
is that it up on the screen there?
You know
oh
what?
my
I
God,
hate,
look at
no,
that.
that's the Rush Creek Reserve.
This one Casey was
That's
talking
what
about.
I was talking about. I hate Swiss cheese.
Oh my God!
Can't stand it. I know.
I love it. Yeah,
I wish I
love
liked
Swiss
it,
cheese.
but
my girlfriend doesn't like it either, and I love it, so I bring it home and I eat all of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when what's the melting pot, like those style restaurants where they heat it up, I dig it. I'm in.
Okay. By the way, did you guys hear about the explosion of the cheese factory?
Oh no!
There were pieces of debris everywhere.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Thank you, Texter.
That's a good one.
Thank you, Texter, for that.
Pieces of debris.
Apparently, there's different cheeses to use for that. The raclette.
Okay.
You can use different ones, so it's not like one specific one. At least that's what I'm finding.
All right.
So is a raclette a style of cooking it, or
It's
something?
like a cheese dish.
Okay. Coming in second place in this World Cheese Awards was a Gorgonzola Dolce DOP, a soft blue buttery cheese made by DiMaggi from Italy.
So do you know in the hotel right next to this, there was the mouse convention?
Oh, my God. In a bizarre twist. They booked them.
those
Had
mice,
no
though,
idea.
They're very smart. A home run.
The whole weekend will be here.
I never put cheese in a mouse trap. I always put peanut butter in there. I guess maybe I should do the cheese thing.
So we have tried, and I only use humane traps when we had them here. The thing that got the most traction was fruit.
Okay.
Oh, really?
I can see that. Yeah. Do you guys remember we had that gal? She was a cheesemonger from Bruno's.
Top level. Top level.
Was she an intern?
No.
She just came in.
She was the head monger.
We were talking about cheese, and she brought in some select cheeses for us to check out and stuff.
God, that was awesome.
I do like those. Somebody got me that as a gift one time at DeBruno Brothers cheese selection. It was fantastic.
They have a new one in Wayne or Stratford, right on Route 30 at DeBruno Brothers. It's right near the farmers market. It's really great, Preston. It's one of those places where you can go in and they got a lot of samples.
Oh, yeah.
You can just hang out by the samples.
Where DeBella lives. It's DeBella's.
DeBruno's. Right. It's on DeBa 30.
I go to the one in Suburban Square.
Okay.
Suburban Square.
Suburban Square.
Sometimes that's like past my taste buds. Like it gets like a little too funky. Some of the cheeses, I think I'm not like used to them.
You probably wouldn't like on the blue cheese style.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I
that
don't.
could be a little bit more dicey.
Yeah,
A little too funky though, Kath.
Oh, it's cheese plate time.
This is Kathy, and I'm here to say I'm not going to eat your cheese today.
Yes, the disco lights.
We have disco lights and funky music in the studio.
Name is Kathy, and I'm here to say don't want no blue cheese any day.
We should get 3 hours of sleep more often.
I know.
It's so fun.
I know. All right,
Thank God
anyhow.
that game got pushed, though. If we were doing this on a Thursday.
I'm happy that it worked out that way. All right, order up.
Oh wait, hang on. I was on the funky bed.
Oh, sorry. Here, let
I
me
need to
turn
get
that
to
back
my. There we go.
Order up. All right. Let's see. So, A pair of TikTok chefs, Nick DiGiovanni and Lynn Davis, broke 2 Guinness World Records by assembling a 7-foot, 1-inch sushi roll. They teamed up in Boston to assemble the roll with 2,000 pounds of rice, 500 pounds of salmon, 500 pounds of cucumbers, thousands of nori sheets, and millions of sesame seeds.
So was this a contiguous?
I haven't seen it.
Because I always think that's a breach of
when they put like
claim.
500 sandwiches next to each other and say, that's the biggest Italian hoagie.
No.
I mean, it's slices of whatever the fish is. I mean, it looks like a sushi roll.
It's in one roll? Oh, yeah. Okay, I see it.
Yeah.
This stuff always this stuff always grosses me out for some reason. Like just the large amount, like all in one. When they did like that giant pretzel, they did a giant hoagie.
Do you know what was amazing? Did you guys see the largest lasagna? It was actually done in a. It looked like a hockey rink.
I was going to say, is it a pool?
Yeah, it was crazy, but it was a fully realized lasagna.
You know what freaks me out is, my son loves sushi, right? And we'll just get it at the supermarket. We'll go, because I think supermarket sushi's fine. But like,
that's beautiful.
It is. But he eats it with his hands on the ride home. I'm like, dude, like you're supposed to eat it with a chopstick, and you got to have soy sauce.
Actually, hold on. I saw a report not that long ago that the Japanese themselves say that it is just fine to eat it with your hands.
Yeah?
Yeah, that is not necessarily a chopstick item that exclusive to that it's okay to pick it up with your hands and use it that way. I saw that somewhere. I forgot
what was the
where that
revelation we recently you imparted to us? That if you eat your food with your hands, you're more likely to eat at a graduated pace.
Yeah, something along those lines.
So maybe that's part of the deal. You'll appreciate the food more.
This is from Japanese. So this is sushi etiquette tips, and it says here most Japanese people eat sushi with their hands, especially with nigiri sushi, which is the single pieces of sushi. So it's just on the fish on top of the rice. And that is apparently totally acceptable.
So for this world record, Kathy, you'll be really disgusted because they start tamping down the rice in the sushi roll, the giant roll, with their feet.
Wow,
I mean, they put
making wine.
They put booties on and everything, but they climb into this huge thing, and then they are essentially crushing the rice.
My name is Kathy, and I'm here to say I don't want no booty sushi today. Shout out to Eugene.
Eugene.
Dude. If Adam Conover is listening to our show right now, I think he's turned around. I think he left. All right. Well, anyhow, during this process, by the way, to create this world's largest sushi roll,
yes,
they broke the record for the fastest time to fillet a 10-pound fish.
Wow!
At 1 minute and 0.29 seconds.
Some of those, there is an artistry to that. I love watching the preparation.
Yeah.
And what is the great documentary?
About sushi?
Yes, about the sushi chef, the legendary sushi chef.
Okay.
I forget. Anyway, I think it might be
Was it Morimoto, was
sushi? Monster Trucks. No,
sushi or not sushi?
Yeah.
Is it called Jiro Dreams of Sushi?
Yes.
All right.
All right.
And all right. It's on Netflix.
Did they eat this giant sushi, or did they just waste all that food?
Nope, they did not. They donated it all to a Boston homeless shelter.
Oh, good. So they stepped all over it and then gave it to the homeless. Thank you.
Says the woman who dressed as homeless people.
They wrapped their
For
feet
Halloween.
in like cheesecloth. So
gross.
Gross. Their feet were
Here, homeless.
close to it.
I am.
This.
Dr. Mike swears he will get me into sushi, and I'm still waiting.
Kathy, do you care or even think about the wine that you drink might be stomped on?
Stomped on? No, they crushed the grapes in a machine.
Are you sure?
No.
That's what you tell yourself. No, it's okay. It's like we employ the 5-second rule. There was no dirt on the floor.
All right. I have another interesting story. I thought this was kind of cool. While studying library science at the University of Maryland, a woman named Rosie Grant was tasked with creating a social media account to learn how the networks work. And choosing TikTok, Grant wondered what themes to focus her posts around. And a professor suggested that she pull inspiration from the local congressional cemetery where she was interning at the time as an archivist, and the creation of Ghostly Archive, a school project that would grow to become much more, was created. And the caption of her first TikTok video read, "I'm going to start making recipes from gravestones." And it garnered 1.3 million views. And apparently, it is not that uncommon
to make food out of gravestones.
No. For people, to post recipes on their gravestone of one of their great family recipes, and they put the ingredients.
I didn't even think about that.
No, yeah,
because that's something I think a little. If you could impart, for example, if you were known for your famous chocolate chip cookie,
your lasagna,
and you could immortalize it for all the people who get their recipes by wandering around cemeteries. It'd be perfect.
Steve, my mom has a recipe, a book, and it's got like food stains on it. It was her grandmother's, her Italian grandmother's, and she inherited it.
That's got to be something.
Like, it's got the chicken scratch on there, stuff that was written down in like the 20s and 30s or whatever, but it's a prized family heirloom and some damn fine recipes on top of it. It's really nice.
Press, I saw this thing on Instagram. It was a post about this. Apparently, this person's nephew's pre-K class had they made a cookbook. I guess they sold it as a fundraiser, but it was a cookbook made by the students. And it's hilarious.
Oh, is that what you sent me?
That's what I sent you. So, for instance, Sebastian's pancakes. Okay, so serving 3, prep time 10 minutes, ingredients, salt. And that's it. Where to buy it? Walmart. Instructions. You get a thingy from the house and you put it in the hot thingy. You turn the hot thingy on and it burns, so you have to be careful. You make like something and you put it in and it cooks, and so this is all of the
that's the recipe.
Like Joe's tacos, Ethan's eggs, Ariana's macaroni, and it's so funny. It was such a good idea.
Right. One of the best. We love her to death, but Lauren Harris.
Oh my God!
Basically mixing cooking with alchemy. Thinking that what was the
She thought if you put cucumbers in the oven, they would turn into zucchini.
But she didn't know how to add water to rice.
Yeah, to rice. You have to boil it.
At bridal showers, they'll often do like a recipe card in the invitation, and so the people that come, give one of their famous recipes or their favorite recipes for the bride. So she, has some things to cook. So they did that for one of my friends for her shower, and I wrote it all out. It was like detailed, written on how to open a bottle of wine and pour it into the glass.
Very good. That's what you know how to do.
That's how you cook.
So she took on this this kind of project to find various recipes on gravestones and then go and cook them, and she's turned that into her TikTok thing, and it's taken off.
I love the idea of the recipe that's handed down, like Nick, with your situation through generations.
Nice, yeah. It's really cool. It's a cool family heirloom.
So there's a woman, she said there was a recipe found on a Brooklyn-based Greenwood Cemetery gravestone of a woman by the name of Naomi Odessa. She passed away in 2008 at the age of 79. And it was a recipe for Spritz cookies. The recipe, she said, only listed 7 ingredients.
Get cookies and then you spit on them.
No, Spritz.
Oh.
Spritz cookies, not Spitz cookies. So anyhow.
You like the way those taste? Yeah, they're soaked in my spit.
She only listed 7 ingredients without instructions, temperature, and cooking time included. So she said she had to kind of figure it out. She said, I didn't know what a Spritz cookie was at first. So I cooked it kind of like a sugar cookie. But she has figured it out now. She said people were recommending different ways to make the cookies, so I read through all the comments to understand how to make the cookies correctly and made it again and again.
So this is actually, I think, fascinating. Also, for other uses of your tombstone. I mean, I'm going to be cremated, so I don't know what you do with that on the side of the urn. But
well, can you get cremated? Well, I'm going to be dead before you, so it doesn't even matter. Never mind.
No, you won't be.
What?
Let's die together.
Oh, dude, I'm totally the first one out of this whole show.
I don't think
I'm
so.
totally the first one that checks out.
Maybe you need to start eating some Spritz cookies.
Yeah, you're probably right. Just
They're
don't
good for
spit
you.
on them.
Are you going to put a recipe on your gravestone?
No, but I want to think of something that that would be
Beer credits. Explain beer credits.
Beer lines, beer credits.
Here's my my plan for a
new currency.
My contribution to
if
the
your
world.
goal is utopia, think beer credits.
So you want to think of your epitaph right now?
No, I want my gravestone
If
to
the animals
actually,
can find the strength, why can't we?
That's
no,
a
I
good
want
one.
it to be something that you could actually use it for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like an anvil, but not an anvil.
How about you installed a ceiling fan on your porch?
I don't know, Kath.
An anvil.
Just thinking out
You
loud.
want it to be. You want the actual stone to be functional.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, you know what?
Oh.
It could be a seat. That's what I'll do. I'll make
People
it,
do that.
Yeah.
You-
I'll do
we
that.
talked about what I think is a
What?
lovely gesture is honoring
memorial
someone
bench,
with
yes.
a memorial bench.
You know what's weird though is so like sometimes I'll go see my dad at the cemetery. Not him because he's underground, but
Right.
His gravestone.
But like I stare at his gravestone and I'm like he's not there.
Yeah.
I'm literally standing on where he is. I should just look down to the ground.
Well, when you bring a shovel.
No.
So my mother, my mother has been cremated, so she's in.
Yeah.
So
does she have no gravestone?
No, she does not.
Okay.
So when my father passes, she and my father, I've been charged with taking their ashes to a specific spot.
There you go.
And
Spreading them.
Yeah, spreading them.
Sure.
But what I will do occasionally is I will outline the silhouette of my mother and pour the ashes into it so I can talk to her.
Dude.
I guess she's been gone long enough you can do this.
Cool. Also, it's Steve, so totally allowed. Steve, you know what I really liked in the TV show Hacks when her spoiler alert, her father passes away.
Yes, it was
he never
great.
traveled anywhere.
Right, yeah.
And so she's driving across the country, and so she spreads his ashes from state to state in places he never made.
All the places he's visiting. I thought that's a wonderful gesture.
It was sweet.
Casey, apropos for you would be a memorial toilet.
Ooh.
You know?
I like it that.
'Cause
Like functional?
Casey sends me pictures of his turds so often it's ridiculous.
Well, honestly, he got that underwriting grant from the Chubb Group.
I never did tell this one. Casey sent
Only
me
the
one.
really good ones.
It was when the World Series was just starting. and
Tell me this
Casey-
doesn't look like Babe Ruth.
Dude, no, listen to this. He took a dump and it vaguely shaped the number 5. And he goes, the Phil's in 5. And he's
Hang on.
There has to be throughout history somebody who was maybe a soothsayer or something,
a poop reader?
who read, in the broad human experience, there had to be somebody who did that.
All right, so 2 things. Is that why you brought up the number 5 yesterday?
Yeah.
All right, and the second thing.
So it's actually your fault they lost.
Well, but they lost by a score of 3-2.
3-2,
3
which
plus
is
2 equals 5.
I know.
Yeah, so it's
In
Casey's
game
fault.
5.
I know.
So tomorrow night in game 6.
And Michael Jackson's original group,
the Jackson 5.
So yeah, okay.
No, I'm just hitting the bell for the hell of it.
Right.
I think we need to wrap this up.
Yeah, we do.
All right.
So this woman is making a career out of the recipes she's found on gravestones.
I find that
I thought that
fascinating.
was kind
Yeah.
of interesting. All right. There you go. Yeah, connoisseur. That's it. We're closing up shop, gang.
My name is Kathy, and I'm here to say, ain't gonna eat blue cheese today.
Actually, I do want to mention one more food-related thing. Our buddy Robert Irvine, celebrity chef, is going to be at Fine Wine and Good Spirits in Lansdale on, actually today. He will be there today at 4 p.m. He's doing a signing of his bottles for Irvine Spirits. And Robert's going to be joining us at Camp Out for Hunger next week.
Go say hi to him. He's such a fan-friendly guy.
Yep, and proceeds from the sale of Irvine's vodka and Irvine's gin will benefit the Robert Irvine Foundation. That gives back to service members, veterans, and first responders. So he's going to be in Lansdale at the Fine Wine and Good Spirits location today at 4 o'clock if you want to come by and say hello. All right, we are going to take a break in our Acme Lounge. I believe I saw Mr. Adam Conover, who's
Still there?
Yeah, it was amazingly, he sat through that segment and is going to be on.
You will explain that you've had very little sleep.
Very little sleep.
That's why the show sounds the way it does tonight.
But he will be in here to chat. Going to be at Helium Comedy Club, and we'll get him and some other stuff when we come back. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
On 93.3 WMMR.
tell if this guy is a talking dog or an actual shepherd.
Yeah. I thought he was a shepherd.
I could tell.
He said, I don't want to bother you two lovebirds, but where's my coat? Is it upstairs on the bed?
While the big celebrity wedding involving the gowns and pounds worth of gleaming jewels and glossy magazine covers used to be the regular thing, more and more stars are opting out of the limelight for the big day.
It's just those two, the efficient, and a guy in a robe with a crook.
He's a crook.
Giant beard.
He's not Moses.
Yeah, shepherds don't. There are shepherds still, and I don't think they look like that.
In my mind, they all have crooks.
I have no leg to stand on at all to criticize anyone.
No.
At this point.
No, the Australian shepherd.
Yep. It's a dog.
What's more ridiculous, having a dog?
Hell no, I'm here for the wedding. No, they invited me. Well, here's your proof. Look, it's wool all over me. I'd like to play a song I composed for the couple on my didgeridoo. Goes something like this.
Thanks for attempting to back me up, Casey. Yes, it would make more sense to have an actual human being,
yes,
as opposed to your dog,
right,
be a witness at your wedding.
Yeah, how does a dog sign
man.
the witness sheet?
There's an ink pad.
By the way, I think I'm going to get lucky with the Shih Tzu at table 7.
Kathy actually had a family member pass recently. That's why she was gone last week.
It's been a bad streak for you, Kathy.
Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, I know. Seriously. My cousin passed away completely unexpectedly. It was very sad. We were all very close with him. He lived with my family growing up for a little bit of time. So it was a little more than just a cousin. We were pretty close to him. So it was sad. I flew down to Florida. They sort of did a celebration of life, is what they called it, and I was held at a family friend's house who, opened their doors to my entire family and all of my cousin's close friends. And one of my cousin's friends was a musician, so he came out. He actually played some music, played some of my cousin's favorite songs. One of their other friends is a minister. He spoke, and we prayed, and all of that happened. But it happened in someone's backyard with palm trees overlooking the backyard. So it was a different feel. It was nice, and it was definitely, I think, a little more enjoyable than a traditional funeral would be. But I didn't think that, I don't know, there wasn't
the keg stands weren't appropriate.
Well, there wasn't time really for mourning. Yeah, and speaking of keg stands, one of my stupid cousins and his dumb girlfriend, who was like a mixture of Joan Rivers and the character Magna on Something About Mary.
Okay,
that's basically who his girlfriend was that he brought. Well, they took it as a party and a reason to just get wasted. And I just felt like it was so disrespectful, even though it was sort of that vibe. It wasn't a let's get wasted and party vibe.
Right.
And
unless you're like an alcoholic, and then everything is the let's get wasted and party vibe.
Well, and maybe that played a part into it, because they to me, they looked like they were high before they even got there.
Okay.
So I think they had something else going on. But when they walked in, they were like, yo, what is up?
Wow. Stop it.
I wanted to shove his face in a trash can.
How old are these people? Are they?
Oh, well, she told the entire party that she was 46. I'll tell you what, she was a minimum 60. Okay, she was not 46, but she continued to tell the party the entire day that she was 46 years old.
Well, all right, so there is a scene in Grown Ups in the beginning of the movie, because they all get together because their Little League coach dies.
Yeah.
And David Spade's character, he gets weird. He doesn't know how to act at a funeral. So when he sees all his old friends, he's like, hey, what's up? He's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. These things weird me out.
Casey, that's kind of what it was. And my cousin looked like Panama Jack.
Really?
Yes.
What a mess.
And listen,
Hat
people,
and everything?
had everything. And listen, people, showed up some were in suits, and, other women were wearing black, but other people were a little more casual. I had like a long dress on. It really didn't matter, but they were a little over the top. It just was a little much. At one point, they were doing the electric slide in the backyard to not the electric slide music.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, okay, we're enjoying music because his friend is here playing. Sit down. Sit the hell down.
This was just those two?
Yeah.
Just alone doing that?
Alone, just the two of them doing the electric slide in the middle of the yard.
I know.
Sit down.
I get that you're trying to go for a more upbeat vibe, but I don't know how. I don't know if I'd know how to act.
Listen, and everyone was kind of like, what are they
Do we have
doing?
fun?
How well do you? I know their family, but how well do you know them? I mean, do you only see them at family functions once in a great while?
This couple?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I only see him every once in a while. Fortunately, I don't have to be subject to him
Panama
that
Jack?
often.
Yeah.
Panama Jack and his 75-year-old girlfriend.
Yeah.
So them, no, I am not all that close with.
Anybody say anything to him?
Well, at the end of the night, when she told the widow's wife that she was a bad mother, then people said something to her.
Oh,
okay.
No.
Wow.
So,
And this is the girlfriend.
This is the girlfriend who half of us have never even met.
How long have they been dating?
I don't know. Okay,
What a bitch.
Oh my God.
That's
You
just a bad person.
Yeah, it was pretty late when it finally all wrapped up and ended.
Did she arrive in a golf cart by any chance?
No, I don't know.
Steal it from the retirement home?
I don't know. And I avoided them at all costs. I just kept telling my brothers, I was like, I'm avoiding the situation. Like, I'm not going near them. I'm avoiding them. So, of course, I'm waiting in line for the bathroom, and both of them walk out of the bathroom together. I'm like,
oh my God!
Yeah.
They were banging in the bathroom,
I think
they were doing something.
I think they were probably doing something else in the bathroom. I don't know that they were banging. So then I ended up having to be in a conversation with them, which was awesome, which is where I learned she was 46.
Yeah, by the way, if you're 60, wouldn't you rather be looking good for 60 or terrible for 46?
You'd rather look good for 60 than terrible for 46.
Exactly. And you know what, though? And she ruined it because she told a story later on in the day.
About meeting Eisenhower?
No, that aged her. Yes, that aged her. And me and my mom figured it out. And we're like, okay, she's at least 58.
So I told him Normandy invasion will work. But anyway, enough about me.
A couple of people are texting and saying, "Hey, you can't have funeral without fun."
Yeah.
No, and listen, but there was. Listen, like my cousin who passed away. His brother is a very fun person, and he was distraught over the loss of his brother, but enjoyed himself, had fun. We told stories about him. There was fun to it. It wasn't this couple didn't need to do that.
Yeah,
They killed it. They made it awkward, and they were disrespectful.
Right. It's the difference between a pleasant, upbeat affair. Mm-hmm. A positive, life-affirming memory.
Celebration of life as opposed to, look at me!
You honestly, you really you need to take the lead from those closest to the deceased, right? So those most affected by the deceased's death, whether, a husband, wife, kids, brother, sister, whatever, you take the lead from them. If they seem to be having a good time and upbeat and all that sort of stuff, then you take that lead, right? If they're not, then you need to kind of be at their level or lower.
Yeah. But, I mean, your cousin's just an a-hole. I mean, that's all there is to it. Was the family all talking about it?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's the risk you run with something like that, is that people... But again, someone who has even the most basic social skills would know how far to push it. You should not be doing the electric slide.
Yeah.
At a funeral.
And so, even though it's a completely different occasion, they would be the a-holes at the wedding, too, probably.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sure. They clearly had some issues that need to be worked out. So I'm sure that was the main reason for them. But
This is the way we did it at Gatsby's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I just wasn't into it.
Yeah.
What's that? I can't wait to see Ham-Ass 2, Casey's Revenge.
Ham-Ass 2.
Some
Wait,
people
what was Ham-Ass 1?
Yeah, it'd be the first.
A lot of people were calling for now my involvement with the Greater Philadelphia Film Office, Mining and the Effed Up Horse.
Mining and the Effed Up Horse gets made finally.
Finally. There's that one, and what was the other movie?
What was the other one that
Isn't there another
we kept
one?
referencing?
Oh, yeah. Stinky and...
Stinky
goes to college?
Does it Stinky go to college? No.
My name left up, or maybe it's Stinky.
I think it's Stinky goes to college.
Stinky goes to college?
It's Stinky goes to college.
There's a couple of other
There was a script floating around for one of them. For
Mining the Effed Up Horse.
Yeah.
Well, there was a cast listing for that.
That's what it was. Yeah.
It was a movie that we would have loved to have had made. I think it was the time that Barbaro got sick.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Miney Wasn't that when the miners in Pennsylvania were stuck underground?
Sure.
And, yeah.
So it's a powerful story.
Mining.
It's like that Antonio Banderas movie meets Seabiscuit.
An author, his name is Yuval Harari, argues in his book, which is called Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind, that gossip is the foundation of our species' survival. Gossiping or sharing social knowledge involves retrieving previously acquired information about an individual from our vast social network, a process that's more complicated than this sounds.
So how far does it go back?
It goes all the way back, I guess.
Guess who put finger in Stegosaurus?
Oh, my God.
Are you effing kidding me, Og? Saw it with own eyes. Put finger right in Stegosaurus. Then sniffed it. Get out. Saw it
with own eyes.
With own eyes. I bet at some rudimentary level it was part of campfire talk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Stegosaurus facing away. Og walk up, finger go in. I saw it. Own eyes.
Of course, it's the original storytelling, probably, man.
Yeah.
Steve, I have a response to somebody texted over. Give me the story again about the Stegosaurus, please, because I have a response to that.
All right. Og, put finger in Stegosaurus. Saw with own eyes.
Shut the front rock.
So dumb. You are so dumb.
Yeah.
Shut the front rock.
Saw it.
And somebody else said, get out of cave. Shut the front rock. So thank you to Clint Buffington.
Buffington. Sounds like a pretend name, but it's real.
Yes, and I almost said Clunt Biffington.
Clunt. Name is Clunt. Clunt Buffington.
Biffington.
Punk.
Clunt. Biffington.
Biffington.
Because it's Clint Buffington.
Clunt Biffington.
There you go.
What's your name, stranger? Biffington. Clunt. Biffington. Did you say Clunt? Clunt? That's not a name I've ever heard. There's many Indians in this area have all sorts of exotic names, but Clunt's not one that I've heard.
Oh my
Clunt. Well, you heard it now.
So he's the guy that finds the messages in bottles, and he actually tracked down the one that was dropped off of the cruise ship. Guy who was on a Carnival cruise ship. He's from Philadelphia and had been floating out there for years, and he found it and got back to him. So
that was cramp-diffled.
Cramp-diffled. A Florida man was sentenced to 5 years in prison Wednesday after his wife died in a crash while the couple was having sex and he was driving while intoxicated.
All right, so she's straddling him, or okay,
that's exactly how.
That can be dangerous.
Matthew Notebart and his wife had just left a country music concert. The pair was having sex when Notebart drove into a canal.
Wow.
The wife, the crash left his wife Amanda dead at the. And Matthew severely injured at the hospital. Deputies confirmed that he was indeed under the influence. Authorities said that Matthew admitted to being naked and that Amanda was sitting on top of his lap when he drove off the end of the road and struck the opposite canal. Yeah.
That's where I think the safest thing to do is if you're going to be in the front seat, doggy style, right?
Yeah. So you could both see what's coming up.
Yeah.
You can both
Look
steer.
out! Sorry, I didn't see that.
Yeah. Hands on the wheel.
Yep.
All four.
So you put the seat back. It's going to be a little snug. I'm not going to lie.
Does the person in front work the pedals and the steering wheel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Good.
You're holding on the wheel. It's like this. You're holding on the wheel. You're hunched over.
Yeah.
Yeah. It works.
It could do that.
Trust me.
All right. We'll
Did it in the Subaru.
After his 5-year sentence, Notebart will be on probation for 5 years. That's a good question. I've never had I was going to say the balls, but I guess that would be right, to do it while actually driving in motion. That's just crazy.
69 in a rickshaw.
I mean, like full on. I'm talking about intercourse.
Yeah, no, I know.
There are other things that you can do while driving, but that is just.
Well, you not Kathy, but you can do it.
Well,
No, you could get roadhead. Can you say that?
No.
we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Who are you?
Have you ever?
Ew, that's so yucky.
There's your answer.
And now we're back. this brief fling to a normal sexual life, and now we're back.
I like how you make the word "ew" 12 syllables.
I want you guys to understand.
Okay. All right, thanks, Kath. Excited to welcome our next guest to the studio. Been a fan of his for a long time, and you may have seen him on stage or screen. He is going to be at Helium Comedy Club tonight and tomorrow, and he was the host of Adam Ruins Everything. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Conover is here.
Hello, everybody. Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Good to see you.
Thrilled to be. That was my first time ever hearing a traffic report live. That was really cool, honestly. I grew up, we were just talking about I grew up on Long Island, and my dad, every 10 minutes driving into the city, quiet, I got to hear the traffic on the 8th. And so seeing it done live, that brought me home.
And Adam, the funny part of Long Island is it's a peninsula, basically. And it's all just, you're either on one of the main straight thoroughfares, and it's always the same in the morning. But I absolutely remember that. You'd have to listen for the traffic. But I was trying to remember all the time we've been doing this here. Is this your first time playing Helium?
This is my first time doing the Helium in Philly. I just did the Helium in Portland.
Okay, all right, no, it's a great club.
Incredible club. It's some of the best clubs in the country by far.
So you're here, and I have to say, for all that we know about you, and Adam Ruins Everything, I was not aware how involved you were with stand-up, and how much that has, in fact, stand-up was sort of a decision. You were on a philosophical track. You're going to right?
Oh, you did your research.
I did.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I was doing. I studied philosophy in college, and I wanted to go to grad school, and then I didn't. Thank God. Imagine if I would have gotten out in like 2009 with a master's or a PhD in philosophy. Would have been terrible for me.
Right.
And instead, comedy started to click. I started doing that instead, and I sort of realized, I can talk about ideas and think deep thoughts, but do it on stage rather than like in a journal that nobody will read.
Well, I think philosophy probably is a useful tool for the way you approach things and for your weighing out of your fact finding. I assume that helps a great deal, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's it's a cliche that people say comedians are like modern philosophers. I think a lot of comedians who say that are full of crap. But you can talk about ideas and you can like think things through. My current show that I'm doing, the hour that I'm doing at Helium, is about I was diagnosed with attention deficit disorder as a kid, and like how do I control my attention, what I think about and listen to, and that's what the show's about.
By the way, real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt, but to piggyback on that, I believe it was History of the World Part 1 where Mel Brooks did play a stand-up philosopher in that movie. So.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly right.
Some truth to that.
Yeah.
The smartest guy I knew in college was a philosophy major, and he ended up having a great career afterwards. He didn't become a philosopher after college, but that was his major. And my favorite class in college, maybe my favorite class, was logic, which is a philosophy-based thing, and it teaches you. I wish I could take it again, or maybe I could take it again, but it teaches you how to make logical arguments and why some things are logical and illogical. Do you ever apply that to your profession?
I mean, a huge amount of what I do is constructing an argument. If we all agree on this, especially on Adam Ruins Everything, the way it would work is, okay, so haven't you ever wondered this? Okay, well, here's the truth about that. So wouldn't you agree that X and doesn't Y follow, and therefore we must agree Z, right? And if you walk the audience through that, you can change minds, right? If you show people here's the thought process and answer all their questions. Now you might ask Z, right, or whatever, and then if you do that properly, you're actually able to convince people.
It's very cool, and to your approach, and you've done at least I've seen one of them where you go back and say, got that wrong.
Yep.
So
yes.
I think, and maybe it's fallen out of fashion to admit you've made a mistake. I have listened to other people and I've changed my opinion on things and learned things.
Yeah.
I think that's how you sort of evolve.
Yeah.
And it was a particularly funny episode that I saw, by the way, where you're going through. It was probably in the college humor days where you did that.
No, we did that on television, on True TV.
Okay, True TV. Okay, so, that's. Are you stunned sometimes, at the reaction of just saying, "Oh, I was wrong"?
I mean, it's amazing how far it'll get you. Because look, my perspective is I'm a person. We have a on the show whenever I'm doing work like this. I have a wonderful research staff. We have writers. We spend a lot of time on every single one of the arguments. But we're people, and so we get things wrong occasionally. One time we said that the Empire State Building was 10 times taller than it actually was. We added a 0 on the end, and we put that on television. And and then there were some things where it's like, oh, actually, new evidence came to light after the episode came out, or there was a counter argument that we didn't take into account. And if you just are transparent about it and say, hey, here's what we got wrong, and here's what we stand behind, and here's how we would adjust our conclusions, people will trust you more. They'll say, oh, okay, this guy, I get him. He's a person. He's not pretending to know more than he does.
It's like I always tell people, I sort of say, don't lie to me and don't try to play me for a fool. That's it. I don't care. I don't care if what you're telling me is in support of or it helps me to think about. I just tell me, what is the truth? Yeah. And it's so funny. You have your family's very scholastic. Your father's a biologist, mother botanist, sister science reporter. Mm-hmm. And I think this is funny. You're a joke guy.
On the black sheep.
But I mean, I'm going to guess you're the high earner of the family.
That is true. I'm lucky enough to be.
They work so hard.
Look, I'm very lucky as a comedian to be doing that. Things have gone slightly a different way. If one thing hadn't broken my way, if I hadn't gotten one job somewhere down the line, I'd be just, I'd be a road dog and, barely able to pay for health insurance. Luckily, I was able to get some TV work. And that helped me out quite a bit. But yeah.
Adam, on the show, was there ever a topic you wanted to dive into, and as you started to research, it just didn't quite fit, or you couldn't find a way to really approach it?
Oh, yeah, totally. Okay. But those are, the thing is, I don't often have interesting stories about those because the topics ended up not being interesting.
That's what would kill it.
We tried to do once, all the dinosaurs you learned as a kid were not real, which is true. Usually the dinosaurs we learned about as kids were sort of the dinosaurs that, as they understood them in the 50s and 60s.
Right.
And often the picture books don't update. And then we looked into it and we're like, well, some of them had feathers, some of them have different names. It's interesting, but it's not that interesting, and so we spiked it.
So there was nuance, but no, I remember the big revelation that they were actually that they were more colorful than than we had thought. Yeah.
And there's stuff like, T-Rex didn't stand up straight, T-Rex bent forwards, and there's a lot of adjustments like that, but no big thing. But there are other stories that we want to do, but we're not able to.
You had mentioned, being able to get this break in television. How hard was that to come across? I mean, because we hear story after story after story of show pitch ideas. It just they walk up to the line, it's a go, and then it's a no-go.
Yep. I mean, a lot of it was... So I was working at College Humor at the time, which is a comedy website.
Remember
it, yeah. It's an entire business that doesn't exist anymore. The websites that used to make original comedy, I
the Nerdist.
Yeah, the Nerdist. I had a living wage, I had health insurance, and there just aren't websites that'll pay you to do that anymore. But they wanted to get into making television shows, and so we had made the series Adam Ruins Everything. We pitched it to TV, and it was partially a stroke of luck. True TV at the time had a new president. They were trying to compete with Comedy Central and wanted to make a big splash, and they also had this idea of doing educational comedy, and that's what we happened to be pitching. Mm-hmm. And they took a chance on me. I had never been on television. I wasn't a big star or anything like that. And it was a hit for them, and so they kept us going. We did the show for almost 5 years. Today, though, if I had tried to pitch the show under the same conditions, well, there's a lot less people who will buy it because all the companies have gobbled each other up and all the streamers.
Yeah.
So, there used to be 20 different TV networks you could go pitch to. Now there's 4 or 5 streamers, and they'd say, oh, well, you're not famous. Let's get, Kevin Hart to do it or whatever.
Right.
We love the idea, not the...
You would not have had a prayer.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. And if you think about... when you were starting with College Humor, you talk about having, a medical plan or whatever, a couple of little extra perks. But now you can go on with just the thinnest, threadbare bit of talent and make $1 million off of something. Does it blow you away about, because you guys are pumping out content?
Sure.
But now... it's become inverted tremendously, it seems.
How so? How do you mean?
I'm thinking like you get up and you mouth the lines of a song in a 7-second video. And
on TikTok.
On TikTok.
Well, here's the thing I'll say is I now, we had a new Netflix show come out in May called The G Word, which I hope people go check out. That was 6 episodes. Took us 3 years to make it because of COVID. And it's out now. And since then, I've been working on trying to get a new TV project going. In the meantime, I've been doing TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that. And the crazy thing is you can get a ton of views on TikTok, but what you don't realize is almost nobody gets paid. If you get 1 million views on TikTok, and that takes some work, they pay you $40, almost nothing. Now, if you get a big sponsorship deal, sure, but people like the D'Amelios or whatever, these big stars, there's a couple of those, but those are like the outliers. The average person on these sites is like making very little money.
What's the G Word about?
The G Word is all about the government. It's a lot like Adam Ruins Everything. It's a educational comedy series, but it's about the government and how it works. And I also go out in the field, so we went and visited a Cargill beef processing plant to see how the USDA inspects all of our meat. We went. We were one of the first camera crews to get inside one of those plants in like 30 years, and we went up with hurricane hunters to fly through a hurricane to see how they track hurricanes.
That's been a bucket list thing.
You want to do that?
I don't know. Normally, I don't. I'm not suicidal, but that to me seems so fascinating.
It was incredible. It was really nauseating.
So is the G Word similar in that you guys will use scenarios or teaching aids and things like that?
Yeah,
I love that type of
visual
programming.
sketch comedy. Yeah,
I love that stuff. It's got to be hard to be original, keep coming up with something fresh.
Yeah, I mean, it is. What I always look for in our writer's room is, what are the ideas? If they blow our minds in the writer's room, then it's probably going to blow the mind of the audience.
That's a good litmus test.
Yeah.
That's what we kind of try to do is, and in a way, ultimately, and I think even the great stand-ups, what makes you laugh? What do you, and hopefully that translates. But you learn also to recognize the signs of, oh, maybe this is making just me laugh.
I mean, it has to make both laugh.
Yeah,
like when you're on stage, the thing that is I always try to do when I'm doing stand-up is to try to remember why I found it funny in the first place. And if I'm able to laugh at it in that moment again, then it'll work for the audience too. But they have to be laughing as well.
It looks like you shot some of the G Word in Philly. We were watching the trailer.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So what was that episode?
So the entire final episode of the show was called Change. We spent 5 episodes exploring the federal government, and I came away going, oh my God, this thing is so massive. There's so many problems with it that people have been demanding change on for so many years. How do we actually move this giant boulder? And one of the things was we profiled these folks, Reclaim Philadelphia here in Philly, who are actually changing local government. And we talked about how important local government is for any issue that you care about, and any issue that affects your life. Even your Senate race here is getting a lot of attention, right? Obviously. But what I'd say to people, what about your mayor's race? What about your city council race? Because what about your state reps, school boards? Because those affect your life way, way more.
And also, there's more of you can feel perhaps dwarfed by the Leviathan that is the federal side of it, but locally you can go down to the meetings and go down, and you can be a little bit more invested.
This is what I started doing in Los Angeles, where I live. I started going to meetings. I started if you just show up to meetings, at least in California, there's a law. They have to let you comment and they have to let you go to the meeting. And if you
That's a good law.
Yeah. And if you go to enough of those meetings, you start to get a sense of what's going on. And if you join a group in your area that's trying to work on it, I do a lot of volunteering around homelessness because, as I'm sure everyone's heard, we've got a lot of homelessness in LA. And if you start going to meetings of a group around that, they'll say, hey, why don't you show up, next week we're doing some canvassing or we're doing a fundraiser or whatever. Would you help out with that? And sooner than you realize, you're making a difference in ways that you didn't expect if you just start showing up locally.
I don't know if you've ever tackled the subject of political campaigns because we've only got 4 days left of this hell of political spots and so on. Oh my God.
It's awful. Look, it's bad in California too. I watch Jeopardy every single
ad. Oh my God. You just brought up Adam.
We were just talking about
I have the thing to do.
Okay, sure.
Exactly predicated on this.
Sure.
My wife and I DVR Jeopardy.
Yes.
Every night.
Yes.
And zip through the commercial.
Yes. And every single commercial break right now is for a proposition in California. We got crazy propositions. But yeah, it's honestly the only reason I keep the cable box. The DVR subscription is like $25 a month, and the only thing I use it for is Jeopardy because it's the only thing that's not on streaming, and I need to skip the commercials.
No, you're so right. Yeah, it's crazy.
Have you ever thought about taking a stab at like a Celebrity Jeopardy or anything like that?
Oh, I would love to. You know, I'll tell you, when they were trying to, when Alex Trebek passed away, I told my agents, I was like, I'm not going to be the next host. I want to be considered. Just please tell them I would love to do it. And he said, of course they will. And then, of course, Ken Jennings and it was a perfect choice, and Mayim Bialik's great as well.
To put the GOAT in, it seems to be the right way to go.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm such a fan of the show. And I would love to do Celebrity Jeopardy sometime.
So James Austin Johnson is on the G Word with you as well.
Yeah.
And he started getting traction because of Twitter. He's on SNL now. I've
got a good story about that.
I would love to hear it because he does my favorite Trump. And it's just the way that he delivers it is so spot on, but just silly and ridiculous. To me, it's hilarious. But share the story, please.
Well, so he's been a friend of mine for a long time doing comedy in L.A., and he started popping with this Trump impression on social media, and we were casting the show, and I was like, we got to get him on the show. Maybe we'll use the Trump impression. We ended up not using it, but he's just one of those comic actors. You give him one line, and he'll find a way to make it funny.
Genuinely funny.
Yeah. And then, so we're shooting. At the beginning of a shoot day, he says, hey, guys, can you shoot me out early? I got to go do an SNL showcase today. And we were like, okay, you know what, for you're my friend. Let's get him out. Let's stack his scenes at the beginning of the day. We'll get you out by 4 so he could drive back into LA. We were like 2 hours outside of LA. He could drive back and do a showcase. And that was the showcase that got him.
Wow.
That was his first showcase that got. Obviously, he had callbacks and things like that. But, I really could have screwed him. And I didn't, so he
There's
owes
a
me.
joy in that power. I did watch a bit of Mind Parasites, which was a show you had done, and you bring up. And I just, I guess it all ties to there's a type of a fungus or fungi that, and I was telling Preston about this, and we talked about it. We've talked about it sporadically over the years. That will, I guess it'll take over its host.
Yes.
And will mind control its host.
Yeah, this is funny you bring this up. This was the stand-up show that I was touring before the pandemic. This is my last hour. It was called Mind Parasites. And yeah, it was about these, there are these fungi that will like take over the brain of an ant and force the ant to like climb up and hang out at the top of a stalk of grass. And it'll do that. It's chilling.
Yeah.
It'll do that because, then later a cow will come along and eat the grass, and the ant will be up there, and the parasite will enter the cow's stomach and reproduce in its in its digestive tract. Then the cow takes a crap, and then the next stage of I think a snail then eats the parasite, and then ants like eat the snail trail, and then the circle of life continues. It's horrible, but I use that as a way. I use that in that show as a way to talk about the parasites that are controlling our minds. So I talked about advertising. I talked about social media, and I talked about alcohol. I quit drinking a couple years ago, and I started to realize that I was just like that ant climbing the stalk of grass, but under the control of alcohol. Because here's the thing I thought. I think the ant thinks it's its own idea. The ant is like, I just feel like climbing a stalk of grass tonight. That's just what cool ants like me do. They don't realize that it's there's something crazy going on in its brain, that something has come in on the outside to influence.
I think we think we're so autonomous that there's no way we could subtly be right. Swayed to that. And so we have this conversation often about social media and about in the benign days of Tom's your friend and smiles, and what it's become, and I see it. Look at people with kids, and I say that's got to be a minefield for you because it seems to be, for all that can be good about promoting a charity or there's just so much that is a detraction from it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I think that kids are resilient. I grew up watching 3 hours a day of the worst TV you've ever seen. Saturday morning cartoons where the show was 10 minutes long and there'd be 20 minutes of ads.
Right.
And I grew up to be a guy who critiques advertising on television. I didn't swallow all of it. People are smart. Kids know what's up. And so I think that people shouldn't be too scared of what their kids are doing. But I also think that like the companies that run the social media sites have absolutely designed the sites to exploit us and to control us, to make us upset, to fill our minds and our eyes with crap that we don't want to see, and to try to get us to do stuff that we don't want to do, and to try to influence our behavior. They are definitely creating systems designed to addict us.
There was that chilling Netflix.
The social dilemma.
Yes.
I boiled it down to, or at least part of social media to me is this: hey, that really cool thing that you did, somebody already did it, and they did it better than you. So there you go.
Yeah.
And that's what it's turned into for me.
Yeah, that's what the comments are every time.
I wanted to ask you about getting sober. You look like you've trimmed up a little bit, or at least since Adam, was that partially that? Alcohol?
I mean, I quit drinking before the final season, between the next to the last season and the final season. And when I look at those two seasons, like on television, I have trouble watching the previous one because I'm like, ooh, I don't look good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm objectively, when I quit drinking, I lost 15 pounds like that.
Yeah.
And it never came back. And look, I don't think I was a bad looking guy, 15 pounds heavier or anything. But when I look back, I also looked unhealthy,
Yeah.
And it made a huge difference. And I've continued working out and eat well and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I was drinking for 15 years. I was a nightcap drinker. I have one or two.
Right.
In reality, that means 3 or 4.
Right.
Every drink you have, you're actually having 2 drinks. I don't know if you realize this, especially if you're pouring it yourself.
Yeah.
I'll have one whiskey. Well, if you poured that yourself, you had 3.
Yeah.
It's like one drink is like this much. Is a little bit. And if you go to a bar, you ask for a glass of wine. They pour you 2 glasses of wine in a single glass. I thought, I just like drinking. And I eventually realized, I was addicted.
Okay.
Like, that's what made me quit was I was like, wait, hold on a second. I haven't gone a day without having a drink in like 10 years. And I'm actually frightened of the idea of trying to go to sleep without having a drink. And I eventually realized, that's crazy. I don't want to live like that. And I just experimented. Let me try to not have a drink, tonight and then for another couple nights. And I started sleeping better immediately. I felt after like a couple days where I had like the DTs and I was like, then once I got over that, I was like, everything got better and now I don't miss it.
Okay.
Like surprisingly.
It's an amazing thing. My brother's been sober for years and years and years now. He was able to do his job very well and still drink, which is a problem because there were no sirens going off. And it seems like, you might have been in that situation too, competently performing your job. And so there was no, hey, where were you? You didn't show up.
This is what I used to do in this hour of stand-up. I talked about how we divide everybody in America into alcoholics and moderate drinkers. And moderate drinkers, we can drink as much as we want whenever we, we're totally fine. Alcoholics, those are those sad few people. They got to go to the sad basement and drink the coffee in the tiny cup in the circle and tell the stories. And they can never drink again because they have a disease. But the rest of us, we're moderate drinkers, and that means we can drink as much as we want all day long. And my theory is that actually, I think more people in America, forget the word alcoholic.
Yeah.
I think a massive number of people are addicted to alcohol and don't realize it. When you go to a game, right? You guys went to the World Series last night, right? How many people spent $1,500 for a ticket, and then as soon as they got there, said, "I got to get in the beer line. I got to have a beer," and then probably waited there 40 minutes to get 1 or 2 beers. They probably bought 2, so they're like, "I don't want to go back in line. I know I'm going to need to have both of these," right? Like once I quit and I started going to events like that, I was like, "This is crazy. These people need to look at what they're doing to themselves. This is nothing but addiction. This is the same as like a smoker standing out in 10-degree weather, in the parking lot because they got to have one.
Yeah.
$17 beers, by the way. Thank you very much. Last night at the game. Let me see. Oh man, there was another question I want to ask you.
Can I? I have something.
I was going to bring up the soccer thing.
That's what I was going to ask. Because you have a dilemma.
I do have a dilemma.
So you've got the Philadelphia Union.
Yes.
Taking on LAFC.
Yes.
Tomorrow, the championship.
I know.
You're an LAFC fan.
And look
in
where
Philadelphia.
I am. In Philadelphia. I know. I had the weekend booked and we went, and then I looked at, hold on a second. We're going pretty far in the playoffs. When is the cup game? Oh, no. I'm going to be in Philadelphia. I'm like, I'm not going to cancel the weekend. I don't want to deprive the good people of Philadelphia of all of this comedy, but I'm going to, I have season tickets to LAFC. Yeah.
So you need a safe space to watch this game.
I do.
I believe you tweeted out about
I
this.
do.
Okay.
All as congenial and just simply a man wanting to wear a jersey, right?
Yeah, where can I wear this jersey and I'm not going to get beer poured all over me is the question.
I don't know.
You don't think my hotel room is that the answer to the question?
How far is the drive to New York City?
You know what? It's such a. The team has been so great, and it's had here. The union has been such a systematic build.
Yeah,
and
it's a great team.
The stadium's great and everything, and it's it's always been sort of that redheaded stepchild, soccer, and now we're it's being embraced in this way. So the passion runs high.
Yes.
So go to Xfinity Live in South Philly and wear the LAFC jersey and an Astros hat. You'll be fine. You'll be totally fine.
I saw two people. I flew in yesterday. I was walking around, the neighborhood. It was gorgeous outside, and everyone's in Phillies gear. And then I saw a couple in Astros jerseys, matching Astros jersey, and I got so mad. I was like, Woody, and I'd been in town 5 minutes, and I was like, cheaters, you cheaters! What are you doing? And I was like, okay, I cannot wear my LAFC jersey outside. I'll do that. I'll do that from my hotel room and root for the team.
So you're a season ticket holder?
I'm a season ticket holder, yeah.
Wow.
Because like you said, I was never even a big soccer fan. One of my friends took me to one of the LAFC games, and I was like, this is the best in-stadium experience I've ever had. It's so good. We've got, the whole supporter section is like singing and chanting the entire time. Everybody's so into it. And like the games are super fun to watch.
And there's no way to get that unless you go and see it.
Exactly.
Because it doesn't immediately translate well on television.
I agree.
Right.
It's the biggest drop-off from live TV in any sport.
Right.
It's phenomenal. I went to a Union game a few weeks ago and just had a ball. And while I was there, I was talking to the guy that is the head of our super fans. They're called the
Sons of Ben, right?
The Sons of Ben. And the interesting thing about the Sons of Ben is that they existed 2 years before the team did. Just to help lure the team to Philadelphia. They created and established this base.
Yeah.
And that's how diehard they are.
I
It's
love
amazing.
it. And I love how much power the fans have in soccer. Like there are times when there are examples where the supporters groups will like go on strike because they're pissed at the team and stuff like that. And then, there's no sound system usually in MLS games or in most soccer games. It's just the fans chanting. So if those supporters groups decide, hey, we don't feel like supporting this week because we're mad at the team for some reason, makes a huge impact. And I love that. That's not true in, fans in baseball don't have any power over the team, but to have these powerful groups. And Philly Union has been like such a success story.
So are you a Ted Lasso fan?
I like Ted Lasso. I enjoy the show. I got some friends who write on it. It's a quality show for sure.
Very cool.
Yeah, I wish there was more soccer in Ted Lasso. That's my only problem. I'm for real. They go like, we got a big game today, and then they'll like cut to them walking back into the locker room, going, "Oh, that was a rough one." I'm like, show us some of the sport that you're talking about the entire game.
Well, Rob McElhenney's a friend of the show, and he was, the Welcome to Wrexham, the reality show, was really great.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's again, it shows how that. It was hard, I guess, for people on this side of the Atlantic to understand why it's just entrenched in the lifestyle, and this show does a good job of indicating why it means so much.
Oh, it's so cool. I mean, I was shooting. I was doing a Nickelodeon game show called The Crystal Maze, and we were shooting that in Bristol in the UK. And I went to the local team there, and it's not, it's like whatever the second or third level of British soccer,
right?
And it was just like, oh, what a great like neighborhood team. It's like, what if minor league baseball actually mattered, and you went to a minor league baseball game and people really cared, and it wasn't just where they trashed all the injured players, from the major league teams. It was such good vibes, and the culture of it is what I like about sports. That's why I love a good sports city like Philly, where people like actually care. Here on the West Coast, people don't really like sports like people do out here. Coming to a real sports city like Philly, it's incredible.
Nice. By the way, Adam, if somebody does want to reach out to you and offer up a place for you to go and watch the game in your jersey tonight, should they reach out via Twitter?
Yeah, Adam Conover or on Instagram or Twitter is a great
Just
place.
make sure it's not a trap. Usually Admiral Akbar.
Well, listen, Adam's going to be at Helium tonight and tomorrow. There are shows at 7:30 and 10 p.m. And, of course, you can get tickets at heliumcomedy.com. And the G Word, where can we see that?
That's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, and please come to the show. I know it's during a World Series game tomorrow night. The one tonight, no games as far as I know, so please come to that.
The stuff is very smart and very fun. funny. So people have a good time. So
Thank you
so much.
Appreciate you being here. Adam Conover, guys. On the Preston and Steve Show, Healing Comedy Club. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
Steve's 25th annual Camp Out for Hunger, supporting Phil Abundance at Xfinity Live inside the Wells Fargo Center complex. Starting Monday.
Finished and yelled hot soup.
hot soup. That's dirty talk for Bill.
He said, yeah, right? It's soup.
Minestrone. Minestrone, chicken noodle.
Chowder.
Soup is sexual. Soup is dirty. Gets all over the floor. Gets on the pillows. Soup's bad.
I miss Bill.
Split pea.
Stevie wakes up having a nightmare about it.
Split pea, clam chowder. What, honey? You're bathed in sweat. I had a bad dream. Third leg of the stool, open barn door. What are you saying?
He just blurts them out.
Oh, dear God. Kathy, here's this story that I promised I would bring up to you.
Lipstick?
A lipstick. Apparently isn't just a little pop of the color. It can be much more powerful. Bobby Rimmel, a gynecologist and oncologist at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles, says for cancer patients, lipstick often serves as a symbol of health and vibrancy.
Huh.
And says that lipstick helps restore a normal sense of self that a patient can lose during an incredibly difficult cancer treatment and help them feel like themselves.
I was never a lipstick wearer. I never wore lipstick until, I guess as I aged, I started wearing it more. So
was it your first rainbow party that...
Stop it. So, yes, I think it does help you, feel better about yourself. And especially if, maybe if they're going through chemo and they've lost their hair or whatever it is, just that little bit of lipstick, I could see that
Could make
helping
you feel
them.
wonderful.
Look, I've got a whole bag of lipsticks here, so.
All right, put on something.
Anybody? I just did.
Let's hear it so people can
this
hear
is
your
lame, whatever.
how
Oh,
much
my-
lipstick you have.
Oh, okay.
You have your bag there?
Yeah.
Pour it out on the table.
Okay. Here.
This is Kathy's
Wow.
cosmetics
And my little
array.
brush.
What is your I'm going out and I want action with an illegal alien? What's that lip? Now, what is your I want to, as Preston says, you want to just feel your absolute best.
You want to look sexy.
You want to be sexy.
Well, listen, it depends on the time of year.
Say you're going to like a police function and there'll be a lot of guys in uniform there.
Well, in that case, I'd wear this lipstick. No, it depends on I wore darker lipstick throughout the winter, and I just got my spring colors. So there's a lot of blushes and roses in there. Those type of colors.
Do you love watching? I love watching my wife put on lipstick. Yeah, I think it's very sexy.
Come on, guys, let's put on some lipstick.
You have food in your mouth. How am I gonna put lipstick on?
Let him eat first. He needs to eat. Yeah, a little bit of chaw.
By the way, I'm so mad.
Why?
Because my bagel was supposed to have butter on it. It had cream cheese.
Is that what you were gesturing to me about?
Yeah. Oh, well, I thought it was yours.
Oh my God! Can you put it on for me?
Oh, you want me to put it on you?
Yeah, Kathy, this one has pubes all over it.
Oh, it does. Sorry about that. I use it for my other lips.
By the way, Kathy, you can mix colors, right? And get a
Yeah,
different.
sure. Of course.
Yeah.
That's like the fun part. You experiment.
So my wife had done like this purple, this pearl, or not pearl, plum, and then she put like almost black and mixed it together, made it real dark and juicy. Oh, you little slut, you. You. Somebody's getting ready for a big weekend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Big weekend.
Steve, can you do Yoo-Hoo for us?
That's messed up.
Now this is, and then the guy blacks out, and then I blacked out, and then I woke up and he was over me like some sort of condor. This big bald guy got lipstick on. He's going yoo-hoo, and I turned around and woke up. I was bleeding.
Holy, oh my God, look at you.
You know what? I'll tell you this. I still look more feminine than Caitlyn Jenner.
Quickly, do we have a wig? Do we have a wig?
Yes,
we do. Casey's putting the wig on Steve. And it's a bad wig. Oh my God. Oh my God.
For the love of God.
Oh, this is just.
Oh, this is so. I'm so freaked out right now.
This is awesome.
This looks like the ad for Split 2.
Yes!
Yeah, totally.
You'll come live in my basement.
I can't do it.
We have Knight's new character.
I have something to tell you.
And now the voice.
Yeah.
It's brought it all together.
It's all gone.
Oh my God.
How long does that
Lipstick
lipstick stay on? It's designed for it to like stay on for a while, right?
Well, what Steve has is going to stay on for a long time.
Because he has an important appointment later on today.
What is he? What do you have?
We're closing on the house.
I forgot about that.
Did you imagine?
Oh my God, dude.
But apparently, lipstick can make you feel more vibrant when you put it on. Do you?
I feel more vibrant. I feel prettier. I feel pretty for the first time.
Wow.
I would agree with that.
I tell you what, though, how annoying. Having no hair is so much better than having.
Yeah, you got to brush it out of your eyes.
Oh, my God.
It's a pain, isn't it? Yeah.
Are you ready, girls?
Oh, the voice.
Walking along in high heels, feeling my testicles swing about.
Oh, my God. This just bizarrely, spontaneously happened.
And it is bizarre.
It is
Well,
fantastic.
you were saying, and I am a big fan of the red. Well, yours
I
is
like
kind
your
of-
lipstick better.
Yeah, you have better
But
lipstick.
this is
Steve.
lip gloss, correct?
It's a matte. It's a matte color. So.
Okay.
So, she said so it won't come off.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, good.
Oh, no. Steve's closing on a house today.
Well, what would?
It'll come off
But you
by
already know the
then, but
people
you
that are there.
might have it for the entire show.
So let me get this straight. This is all marketing that once you apply it, it stays on till you die and rot in the ground. No, it's clearly removable.
But,
Yeah.
but it's,
I've heard apply it once and then live with it for the rest of your life.
No, but red lipstick is pretty difficult to get off.
Okay,
Not
he,
for me.
he can do it, though. He'll-
Now,
I work out.
I've heard of people getting eyeliner tattooed on. Right?
Yeah.
You can't have
Michael
lipstick.
Jackson had that.
My grandmother had that done.
Really?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Had the eyeliner tattooed on.
Steve looks like somebody. You look like a
Caitlin's hotter sister.
No,
Like
no,
an actress
and like
or-
an actual female actress,
A younger Kathy Bates.
I was thinking of somebody 80s hair metal band, like because there's this. The guys in bands in the 80s would put lipstick on.
Oh, it's like when they're past their prime and they don't. They're performing now in
like David
in
Coverdale.
Tokyo. Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Casey-
I went to see Coverdale the other night. Holy crap!
Casey, you can get permanent lipstick tattooed, but it's not like it's sort of just like a neutral lip color. Like they almost darken your lip color a little bit.
Okay.
All right. This is a name out of the past. Linda Tripp.
Yes.
Do you remember Linda Tripp?
Tripp was the one that betrayed Monica Lewinsky.
Yes. Could someone pull up a
Jeez.
picture of Linda Tripp? I want to see if.
Let's
if
put it this way: John Goodman played her on SNL.
That's right.
Now, would I?
Oh my God!
When women, by the way, Kathy, this is a trick I've noticed. A lot of women don't do this. When they're listening, they'll jut the lower
kind of
lip.
pouting a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's a forced thing to make it. Oh, you're going to ask me something?
Steve, say prune.
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 I
Hold
have
the
to take a poop.
pip. Prune.
I don't think prune is the right.
Wait a minute. Do your Sean Connery with the wearing.
Check your perp. Check this picture now. Yeah, I've indulged your perversion. I will not make your pancakes.
You're better looking than Linda Tripp.
Yeah.
You are.
The reason that we were going there is because a guy that has been on the show several times, is a South Jersey native, and you've heard us talk to him on the air and talk about him many times. The composer Michael Giacchino invited us out to be a part of something really cool. He is currently, or was currently, scoring the film Spider-Man: Homecoming. And he was doing it at the 20th Century Fox Studios, and invited us all to be out there if we wanted to be in the studio while they're recording the music for the movie.
That's amazing.
So Nick and I took advantage of it. There were some other commitments, and that's why not everybody could make it. But I'm telling you, this guy, number one, for those who may not be familiar with Michael Giacchino, has composed the music for some of your favorite movies. And just start with some of the Pixar stuff, The Incredibles, Up, Inside Out, and then you move over to things like Planet of the Apes. He has also done the Star Trek films. J.J. Abrams and he did all the music for Lost. He started in video games, so Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
A bunch of series of video games that he did, and he is the guy. He did Rogue One. He did. Did he do Force Awakens as well?
No,
I think
he didn't do that one, but he did Jurassic World.
Yeah,
and
he's gotten. They've handed over these John Williams scores and said, "Here, update and run with this."
He is the heir apparent. He is the guy right now. And the fact that he is as nice as he is, and a friend of the show, and friends of the show never invite us to do cool stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess they know we'd be an embarrassment, so that's pretty much our prohibitive factor. But this was so cool that you got to go out there.
So he invited us out, and he also said that it was cool if my entire family came along as well. So it was me and Nick and my 3 kids and my wife.
Rochelle just had to pretend that she was Steve. She was me.
That's it. Yeah. No, but they were so nice. So we show up, and when I got there, Nick was already. I found him on the property, kind of trying to find the studio that we were going to go to, which was the Neumann studio.
Yeah.
Was that named after Randy Newman?
No, his uncle, I believe. And,
okay.
But within that family, and so we're literally on the 20th Century Fox lot, which is sprawling. There are a lot of buildings. It's where they film movies, and some of those sound stages are huge. So we were going from one to the other, and ended up in Building 26, which is where they shot or were scoring rather the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, and they had like the Jane Russell suite, and they even had the Marge Simpson stage, and all the things are named after famous actors and
absolutely.
characters.
That's neat. And the Jane Russell suite, I assume, has huge breasts, right?
Of course it does.
Yes.
So we show up for this really cool experience. What is this? Oh, Randy Newman. I love LA. Yeah. Who, by the way, he does tons of movie scores.
Academy Award winner.
Absolutely.
He did Toy Story.
Yeah. And Michael Giacchino, by the way, an Academy Award winner
Yes.
as well. He won for Up. He won an Oscar. So we show up, and we're not sure what to expect. And
you feel out of place, and you feel like you shouldn't be there.
Well, we just follow the instructions on where to go, and eventually we're standing outside the store, and it says studio. There's a big red light and everything on it, and it wasn't going on. So we just walk in, and boom, we're in this recording studio.
What are you doing? We're halfway. Oh my God!
So we kind of sheepishly walk into the control room.
Who are these idiots?
Steve, I was afraid that was going to happen. I mean, like everybody was so nice and kind, but this is not where we work. This is where they work.
Yeah.
They're friends of mine. I invite.
Michael, God damn it! That's $50,000. Get him out of here! That guy's head is blocking the screen.
So we show up around 9:30, 10 o'clock. The session was going to start around 10. Actually, we showed up around 9:30, and we walk in, and they're all still getting in place, and we're just trying to stay out of the way.
Yeah.
Because there were several people in this very large control room.
You try to be mindful.
And so we just kind of scoot back and get out of the way and find our little spot. And Michael comes over, and he's like, hey, oh my God, you're here. He was just so excited that we actually made it. And his
Such
sister,
a nice guy.
Maria, was setting the whole thing up, being the liaison with Nick.
Did we mention he's from South Jersey? I mean, that was a connection in the first place. Riverside. He invited us back. And so if this is a one and done, I will be forever grateful. It really was a once in a lifetime opportunity. I do feel privileged because I am. But if we get to do it again, I really hope you can come again because he's not going to stop.
I do want to. And
are you ready for this?
We do it? Yeah,
here we go.
Okay.
Slightly privileged.
WMMR.
My head popped up when you said Keeneland. My dad lives right across from that racetrack.
Oh.
In Kentucky, yeah, the Breeders' Cup. I forgot they have that there. All right, it is time for the Bizarre File. Here we go.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
You don't know if you have a sponsor.
Don't know if I have a sponsor or not. All right, well.
Did Casey leave for the day?
I think he's done for the day.
Wait, here comes Marissa.
Marissa, back up. Going to handle this right now. So let's see. I do have a.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yes. All right. Brought to you this morning by IBEW 654. Join Jackie Bam Bam for the IBEW 654's Toys for Tots Drive, Saturday, November 12th. From 11 to 1 at the Boothwyn Union Hall at 3729 Chichester Avenue. And you can get into the spirit of the giving, get into the spirit of giving this holiday season. There we go. Residents of a sleepy village say that they have been left petrified after a dive-bombing bird named Derek carried out
Derek? They named him?
multiple attacks on innocent children. That is correct. This is in England. The jackdaw, which is the type of bird he is, which some have branded a menace, has been causing safety concerns in Rossington, South Yorkshire. During the latest incident, a woman said that Derek had tried to swoop on her children while they were in her garden, adding that there would be hell to pay if they were harmed.
Damn that, Derek.
And another resident said that the small black crow had forced workers to flee indoors after it ambushed them and caused absolute terror. Villagers are divided as to whether the bird is domesticated or wild, and some have even shown support for it, describing Derek as their local mascot. But most have voiced concern at its persistent raids on their community and now believe the bird should be locked up.
Well, it's kind of a conundrum because you don't want to beat up a bird, but, it can be a quality of life issue.
Jackdaws, by the way, which number about 1.4 million in the UK, are members of the crow family. They are smaller than their cousins, the rook, carrion crow, and raven. They commonly nest in chimneys, rocks, tree holes, and small crevices. But this guy, Derek, is being a dick.
Yeah.
A woman who became stuck in her basement when a sofa she was moving got jammed into the stairwell had to be rescued by the fire department. Melissa was moving the sofa into the basement with the help of her partner Todd when it became stuck. Daughter Claire found her mom trapped on the wrong side of the sofa and tried to help before giving up.
Pivot.
Yeah. Melissa, a preschool teacher, was stuck in the basement for almost 3 hours while Claire and Todd tried to dislodge a handrail from the wall in hopes of freeing her.
Anyone who's ever moved furniture has encountered moments where they thought they might get locked into a room forever.
Oh, yeah. Yep, absolutely. All right, so Todd even made a hole in the wall of trying to get the sofa into the basement, but to no avail. Eventually, the family had to call the firefighters. The fire brigade successfully got the handrail off of the wall by wriggling through a hole. Claire said, "I thought it was hilarious. My parents did not think it was funny. My dad was mad because of the damage, and my mom thought she was never getting out." So,
They
yeah,
had
she
to
got
call the fire
they had to
department.
call- yeah.
You just see an arm sticking out front of the couch.
Holy cow, it's the fire department.
A woman claimed that she was, this is a terrible story, that she was burning a witch when she set fire to a camper over the summer, and she's pleaded guilty to murder and arson. Crystal Wilson pleaded guilty in court on Monday to second-degree intentional murder and first-degree arson. She faced up to 37 years in prison.
Was it, in fact, a witch?
Well, she went to a camper van to obtain meth and alcohol. After using
a meth witch
in the camper with the victim, Wilson said she stabbed him multiple times with a butcher knife. Oh, boy. She went unconscious and then woke up to find the victim, who was cold to the touch. She grabbed a lighter and lit the camper on fire. She said she thought she was burning a witch.
Wait, it was a man, though?
Yes.
Okay.
That would be, his name
be
was
a
Chip. He was a
wizard.
Chip witch. Yeah.
Or a warlock.
Yeah, right, a warlock.
Charges say that when officers searched the camper, they found no butcher knife present, but did retrieve a pair of needle-nose pliers.
Drugs make you do crazy things, don't they?
They make you just a little bit crazy. She's going to be sentenced on January 20th. Miami man was arrested early Monday after ramming his vehicle into a home, endangering the 7 people inside. Deputies said
there are witches in there.
They arrived at a home after receiving reports of a burglary happening there, and upon arriving, deputies found the front entrance had been severely damaged, and a black 2013 Ford Explorer with damage to its front end was parked in the yard. Approaching the home, deputies found 46-year-old Nissan Ortega, who was drunk and rolling around on the floor inside of the home. Yes. What are you doing, son?
Rolling around.
Ortega was later handcuffed and sent to the hospital. Deputies say that when they spoke to Ingrid Alas, Ortega's ex-wife, who told them that Ortega had shown up around 2 a.m. demanding to be let inside, but she refused. Alas, said Ortega. Alas, said Ortega. Had left about a year ago due to his violent tendencies, and she believed that he became upset, backed his car up across the street before accelerating into the home, which could have killed her or her other, the kids in the house. He drove it into the house. So
his son, however, showed up later.
He is, alas, and however, he's facing 7 counts of attempted murder.
Wow.
In that. All right, then we'll have time for one more story, and I think we can end with this one. A drunken man claimed to be Hollywood film character Jason Bourne. Before stripping off his shirt and swearing at police officers.
I thought that was fictional.
Paul Stevens admitted to a charge of being drunk and disorderly when he appeared before the magistrate's court. Stevens said he had been drinking when officers were alerted to reports of a drunken man staggering in the road. Officers approached to speak to him, but he started to swear at them and tell them he was Jason Bourne, the character from the Hollywood film series, of course, played by Matt Damon.
I got to make one call. I'm calling John Wick.
Paul Donnie, who was prosecuting, said an officer tried to engage him with Stevens and explained that he wanted to talk to him, but the defendant started to swear, said his name was Jason Bourne. He said the shouting and swearing continued, and the defendant then took his shirt off to talk about his tattoos.
Take a look at these.
Mr. Doney said that the defendant threw his jacket over a barrier and told officers to fetch it. And then
See, that says Preston and Steve.
He climbed over the barrier himself. The prosecutor said the shouting and swearing continued in front of members of the public, and they arrested him.
What's that monkey doing there?
It's between my nipples. I don't ever recall Jason Bourne cursing in any of the movies.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. All right, and there you go. That's what I have in the bizarre file for you. Hey, by the way, we have a new Daily Rush video. We have a second Daily Rush. There's 2 new ones up. Kyle is working his butt
Kyle's
off
the
over there.
man.
He's our new video guy. Kyle Mack. You know him as Wide Angle Kyle. And
Do you have an email address yet?
I don't know.
Not yet? Okay.
So 2 videos. There's the Michael Imperioli Daily Rush, which is up. I mentioned that earlier this morning. And the Taron Killam, the NFL pylon conversation.
2 fun interviews.
Yep. And description is former SNL cast member Taron Killam. Shares what it's like hosting his new Amazon Prime sports comedy show, his predictions for the Eagles this season, and what it's like to be married to an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. And you can check out the newest Daily Rush video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's sponsored by Xfinity's Gig Speed Internet. You can learn more at xfinity.com. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back in a second. Lesson, question, trash, music, news. Those things are up next. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Take a break and come back and talk about the rest of the week.
I could go on, and I'm not going to do it. Fear for privilege overload. But there were so many great things that happened. That was just one of the days. So
It was one day.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a full day. It was just like 18 hours of the day.
Yeah.
And how long were you there?
6 days, I think. Just shy of a week.
I was there Saturday I took the red eye in, so I did Easter with my family in LA and got back this morning.
When did you do Joshua Tree?
I did Joshua Tree on Friday, and I've mentioned this on the show a few times, but my goal is to get to every national park in the country. I'd never been into Joshua Tree before. It's incredible. It's right near Coachella, so that was going on this
past
week.
How was traffic getting there?
We avoided that. We went to the north side of the park and came in that way. Coachella's sort of on the south side of the park, but
I've been to Joshua Tree.
It is,
beautiful.
it's incredible, and it's only 2.5 hours from downtown LA. And I did rock climbing outside, and that was privilege as well.
And and speaking of privilege, I have to say thank you to Craig Shoemaker. Took me to play golf at Calabasas Country Club.
Calabasas, that's where the Kardashians live.
Yeah.
It sure is.
Oh, he was pointing out all the houses like, oh, that's where Tom Bergeron lives. That's where blah, blah, blah. I mean, like right on the golf course.
I went to Nobu.
That's right.
I went to Nobu, Malibu.
It's a great restaurant.
Where all the cool, trendy people.
You ready? And Arizona, this is legit. An Arizona police department shared photos of the swearing in of its newest and most unusual officer. It's Iro, the drug-sniffing lizard.
Iro, the drug-sniffing. Oh, that's what that picture was. I saw a whole bunch of cops with a lizard.
Iro is a bearded dragon that first came to the Avondale Police Department last April as part of a pilot program and was officially sworn in Thursday by Chief Dale Nanenga. The department said Iro was originally brought in after officials reviewed research indicating reptiles have a strong enough sense of smell to make them more effective than dogs at detecting some types of narcotics. I tried to see if this was like a late April Fool's gag or something like that, but it appears to be legit. Research has shown, this is according to...
Really, the main concern is just to make sure that the perps are taken off the street and we get these drugs out of the hands of the children. It's quite an honor to be on this police force now. I'm looking forward to a productive couple of years. And the rookies coming in, that's of great concern to me as well. Getting them out on the street, interacting with the people, talking to the kids, and that's how we make change.
I love it. You sound like a New York cop.
The department had said research has shown that reptiles possess a strong sense of smell, making their ability to detect certain illicit drugs possibly more accurate than canines. Wow. It said our pilot program, Drug Sniffing Bearded Dragon, will be assisting officers in the city. Please help us welcome Iro.
Did they put him on a leash?
I don't know how they go about. I mean,
I think it's a baby Bjorn.
No, they wear it around their tail. No, how do they indicate they got a hit? You know, dogs will sit or they'll do some sort
You
of.
got something over here. I think it smells a bit like meth. I'm thinking.
Oh, he just tells them.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
He just speaks up.
I'm a working officer. What do you want me to do?
So I figure the second you take him out of his aquarium, he's gone.
Yeah,
I'm working now. I'm working 24/7. So if I'm in the aquarium, I'm sitting on that little fake beachfront under the fake umbrella with the fake palm tree. I get a call. I'm going. It's time to roll. We got to make a change out there.
I need to follow up on this and make sure it's legit. The department has periodically posted photos of Officer Ira's escapades using the hashtag Ira Adventures.
Please send a backup lizard.
By the way, there's a few different things we're going to go through. I kind of notice these things.
Really?
Yeah, I think so because
Around the corner, down a dark alleyway, across an empty field. He is the noticer. Nothing gets past Preston Elliott.
This one
the noticer.
I noticed.
On the Preston and Steve show.
All right. This one I
6
noticed
to 11.
because Steve said it to me.
All right.
Human
Steve
beings.
sent this to him.
We as human beings get turned on by many things. Most commonly, we're turned on by other people that we are sexually attracted to.
And animals.
There are also people. What?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. There are also people who are turned on by inanimate objects. I've mentioned that stuff on the Bizarre File before.
Hence people marrying the Eiffel Tower.
But this I've never seen. There are certain women who are turned on by themselves.
Gee, I wonder where a woman like that might exist. Where a woman who would find themselves so beautiful, they would get aroused. It seems almost impossible that such a woman would exist.
Yep. They
What are you saying?
They stare at themselves in the mirror and they think, I'd like to tap that ass.
Well, yeah, but then you don't actually get turned on, right?
No, these people do.
Well, we don't, but you do.
According to...
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So beautiful.
I'd hit that.
According to Dr. Michael Aaron, a New York City therapist and author of Modern Sexuality, The Truth About Sex and Relationships, it's extremely common for a woman to be sexually attracted to herself, and it is called autosexuality or autoeroticism.
Yes, so just the visual is enough to get this type of person worked up to the point of being orgasmic?
Well... No, not they're not going to stare at themselves and actually have the orgasm, but it will turn them on.
What about a person who wants to vomit whenever they see themselves in the mirror?
They didn't
like
cover
myself.
that.
Is that you?
Yeah.
In the study.
Oh no. Oh no.
And as vain as it sounds to want to have sex with yourself because you're so hot, it's not narcissistic apparently. The doctor,
because it's true.
The doctor said it's very common for people to be aroused by themselves to varying degrees. Some experience it more like an orientation in that they feel more aroused by themselves than by others.
So do they use themselves as a benchmark to compare other people to? In other words, will they not? Does someone have to exceed their own level of beauty to warrant a physical encounter?
I don't know. Another psychologist explains the easiest way to tell if someone is autosexual is from their self-pleasuring habits. If she's picturing herself and thinking about how sexy she is when she's doing that.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Is that how you do it, Kathy?
Stop
She's
it.
obviously an autosexual.
Do you think are you thinking of yourself mostly when you're going at it? I'm asking in the most clinical ways. We're gathering data here. When
listen.
you are there, when you're upstairs, when you've got the device, when it's plugged in properly, you have it in the power strip so it doesn't short out.
Need a surge protector.
Right, or a surge protector. How do you see yourself dressed in your mind?
God, I'm not answering you, but listen, I do think this is very bizarre.
Yeah? They said it's more common than you think. It says if you think you're dating an autosexual, you're probably not, though. It says, according to the original definition of the word by ego analyst Dr. Bernard Affelbaum, an autosexual is someone who has a great deal of trouble responding to someone else sexually, but can respond fairly or very well to WMMR. Everything that rocks. 10 minutes after 10 o'clock. Oh, it's Friday. No sad, bro.
No sad, bro.
There's a hint of sad. I mean, the Phils didn't win last night. There is a hint of sad. We're staying positive because there's 2 games left to go. They've won in Houston before.
They did well.
And so we can go back-to-back wins, definitely. But it just feels a little bit of sad. But we're trying to press that aside since it is a Friday, so we're counterbalancing those 2 things together. Nonetheless, doing our Friday things, we'll give away our Word of the Week prize in a little bit. Your chance to win coming up. Looks like finally here in Bala Cynwyd, at least the fog has finally burned off, which is great because we have a beautiful day on tap, like 75 degrees and partly cloudy skies. It's going to be wonderful. 77 tomorrow, 78 on Sunday. I can't believe we're going to be almost 80 degrees in November. That's very rare.
Leading into the camp out, that's wonderful news.
Yeah. For like our crew that's assembling the facility there, weather's going to be great.
And the car event is on Sunday as well. It's going to be spectacular.
Fill-A-Trunk is taking place on Sunday, and we encourage you to come down and see all these amazing vehicles, these car clubs, and got started by the Porsche Club of America. And gates open at 10 a.m. Spectators welcome to check out all the cars. And car clubs are going to drive through and donate throughout the event. So make sure you come go by and see those guys tomorrow. Burger Brawl has been canceled or possibly rescheduled.
I talked to Rob Wasserman, who is the head muckety-muck of the whole thing. They're going to try to morph it into something so that everyone can get some burger goodness. But the event, as you know it, not happening this year. But news is pending. He's going to try to work out something. I was really looking forward to it because I was going to stock up our RV, Preston, with tons of burgers.
I know. I was looking forward to that too, but
I know.
It's all good, man. All right, lesson question time. We're going to give away a pair of tickets to see Paul Reiser. He will be at the Keswick on November 11th. The question, I had several of them that I could choose from today, and I liked them all. And I'm kind of in a...
conundrum, a quandary.
Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? Give me early, middle, or late.
How about want to give it to Kathy?
Yeah, Kathy,
Middle.
you pick.
All right, middle. So we'll go with the one that's about 7:30 this morning. When he's hanging out at Xfinity Live, what kind of drink does Sly Stallone like to order? Or he was Rambo or whoever. 215-263-WMMR. When he's hanging out at Xfinity Live, what kind of drink does Sly Stallone like to order? 215-263-WMMR. Let's see if you were listening.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you this morning by Monster Mania. You can see the biggest names in horror at Monster Mania Con 52 at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center. That's in Oaks, and it's on November 11th through the 13th. Tickets available online at monstermania.net. What's happening, Steve?
Well, Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson have apparently completely moved on and have not communicated in a while.
Davidson says he really misses just talking with Kim, and by talking, he means anal.
Oh, my God.
Hey.
76-year-old Cher and 36-year-old music exec Alexander Edwards were seen holding hands while strolling in West Hollywood. Friends say Cher is fascinated with Edwards because he was born the very same year she stopped having periods.
No.
And finally, actress Asha Cooper. Actress Asha Cooper of Chicago Med will not be part of the cast of the popular show next season. Cooper will apparently be joining the cast of Chicago Unemployment. That's your Hollywood Track.
All right, thank you, Steve. All right, let's see if we do indeed have a caller when he's hanging out at Xfinity Live. Sly Stone likes to order this, 215-263-WMMR. We're going to go to William to see if we can get an answer. Hey, William.
Hey, how you doing? Eugene!
That was a Eugene?
Yeah.
All right, nice. All right, what does he like to order, William?
It's Shirley Temple.
Shirley Temple, yeah. Sometimes two of them.
Yeah.
All right, William, hang on. I'm going to give you a pair of tickets to see Paul Reiser Friday, November 11th, Keswick Theater in Glenside, and tickets are on sale now via AXS.com.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Brought to you by Campbell's Chunky Sacks Hunger. Proud sponsor of the Camp Out for Hunger. You can team up with Chunky and this year's Soup Squad to help sack hunger in our community. So items from Taylor Hawkins' tribute concert will be going up for auction. Various pieces of gear used in two recent tribute concerts for the late Foo Fighters drummer will be auctioned off next week, and proceeds will be donated to Music Cares and Music Support. The auction, organized by world-breaking auction house to the stars Julian's Auctions, will be taking place at the Hard Rock Cafe in New York and online via the Julian's Auctions website from next Friday. I didn't see any of the items listed, but there was a lot of cool stuff. A lot of really awesome drum kits were there.
Does Music Cares primarily focus in on addiction issues, or just is it sort of an umbrella for anything that affects musicians?
I don't know. Proceeds donated to Music Cares and Music Support. So those are two different organizations.
Right.
Stephen, I'm sorry, but I don't know the answer to that.
I
but-
just was wondering if it was very focused or if it was just something more general.
Yeah, it's a good question. Måneskin's Damiano David has opened up about the accusations of censorship surrounding the band's performance at the MTV VMAs back in August. Photos taken during the band's performance of their hit Supermodel. In it appeared that bassist Victoria De Angelis suffered a wardrobe malfunction with her top falling down around her waist. The cameras panned away to focus on empty seats for about 40 seconds. For the rest of the performance, they frequently cut away from the band to show an aerial shot of the arena instead. David,
a Google map,
said he puts VMA censorship down to prejudices towards rock bands and towards women. He said there's a lot of work on. There's a lot to work on.
There's a lot of that. You gotta make it sure that this gets fixed. I'm there with my ace hanging out, and nobody shows in the pictures.
And and we try to do our part. He went on and said it's sad, but it's good that people then talk about it and think about it. It's stupid that there has to be this control and censorship over people's bodies.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to finish my donkey.
She is. She's a knockout.
She's sexy. Yep.
I mean, and that's not the first time that she's worn next to nothing on stage.
Yep. Yep. That's kind of her thing.
Yeah.
We're looking at the pictures
Let's
right
just
now.
stop the show for a little
Yep.
bit.
Okay.
Yep, hang on.
During a recent chat, Sammy Hagar commented on Wolfgang Van Halen's remark that Van Halen was too dysfunctional to play a tribute show for Eddie Van Halen. So Sammy said, Alex Van Halen and I don't talk. I reached out again to Alex recently. Mike, meaning Michael Anthony, had a sad thing happen in his family, and I reached out to Al, and he wouldn't return my call or my email. And so I said, you know what? F it. It's not on the top of my list, my agenda. I think Eddie deserves, definitely, a tribute, and the whole world would show up, and the whole world would do it. I don't know why people put it on Roth, meaning David Lee Roth. He said, I don't talk to Dave, and if he did it, he'd want to do it without me, and I'm sure that's part of the dysfunction that Wolfie's talking about. He went on to say, I'll make a statement that I don't know is true or not, but what you do, what do you want to bet? He goes like this. I will only do it if Hagar's not there, meaning David Lee Roth. And if that were the case, that's typical Roth, and that's part of the dysfunction. It's not like he controls it. It's just that he doesn't play well with others. And like I said, if Alex came to me and wanted to do it, I'm in. Absolutely. Let's go and do it somehow. But Alex has got to stick up his ass about something with me still, and he's going to take it to his grave, I guess.
Man, that's always been sort of the rumor about Alex Van Halen.
Yep. He said, I made peace with Eddie before he died, but I don't think I made peace with Al, and I don't think I'm going to unless he reaches back out to me, and I've done it about 5 times now or so.
I would see a completely Sammy Hagar version of Van Halen show. You know, I mean, they had great stuff.
They did. There were some great songs out of that catalog, for sure. But I believe him, too. I believe him about the Alex Van Halen thing, which is too bad. Too bad. And then finally released today is the deluxe reissue of John Mellencamp's 1985 classic Scarecrow.
That's a great album.
Yeah, the new box set includes 2 CDs of newly remixed and remastered songs, plus previously unreleased bonus tracks.
Sucking on a chili dog. Sucking on a chili dog.
And alternate versions.
It should also include a Scarecrow.
A booklet full of rare photographs and all new liner notes by acclaimed author and music critic Anthony DeCurtis. Did you guys go make Scarecrows this year?
No.
I know I didn't.
I wanted to.
I know.
It's a fall activity.
I know.
Because it rained on the Saturday that we were supposed to go, and theirs was rain or shine.
There was rain on the Scarecrow?
Blood on the plow?
Oh, my God.
So, can we want to make a Christmas Scarecrow?
Yeah, we can totally do that. We should do that, Steve. Maybe we'll do our own holiday
We'll do
activity.
it right here during the show.
Me and Steve.
We'll set a table out. I'll bring in my bedazzler.
Like a scare elf or something like that?
Scare elf.
Scare elf.
A Christmas Scarecrow would be a snowman.
Oh, that's no.
Yes, it would. You need snow for it, but that would be a snowman.
Is the purpose of a snowman to scare crows off the crops?
What about a hayman?
Hayman.
Oh, that's what it would be. I like Hayman better.
You can make a hayman?
Yeah.
Okay. Scarecrow was released on August 5th, 1985, and spent a whopping 28 weeks in the Billboard Top 10. The album spent 3 weeks at number 2, 3 top 10 hits. You had ROCK in the USA. That was the highest charting one at number 2, followed by Lonely Old Night and Small Town at number 6.
Great.
Rain on the Scarecrow, number 21, and Rumble Seat was at number 20.
And Christmas Scarecrow was another hit.
Yes.
Though, as great as that album is, I'm going to say Lonesome Jubilee is better.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great album, too. Yeah. All right, and there you go. That's all I have in music news this morning. We're going to take a break. When we return, we'll get the letter of the day, the word of the week, and give that prize away. So hang out with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
The new and improved MMR app is out.
More stuff from the sexual world.
Yeah.
The noticer notices everything, even sexual stuff.
All right, this other thing I noticed, and this speaks to a few of the people here in this room.
This speaks to people in this very room.
It does.
The noticer has no pity on you.
Who here does not shower in the morning?
Me.
Nick and Casey.
I don't shower. I shower at night.
Nick, Casey, and Kathy are disgusting.
Marissa, you shower in the morning. No, you're showering right now.
She's a pig. They're all pigs except for 2 people.
She's pointing down. No, you shower at night?
She cleans everything but a cooter.
Ew.
Oh, my
That's wretched.
I thought
No,
that's what you
shower at
meant.
night.
She showers at night as
She
well.
showers at night. Okay, so Steve, you and I are the only morning shower people.
Oh, yeah.
But apparently...
Morning shower people, shower every morning, it's true. Morning shower people, shower for me and for you. It just seemed like a song, didn't it?
A folk song?
Yeah.
Is there a night shower people song?
Night shower people.
That's very similar.
Arrive at work very smelly. Kathy, Nick, and Casey, and little Marissa, too. They all smell so bad, we can hardly take it.
I like when I get up early enough to shower in the morning. I just don't, and I prefer to get that extra 20 minutes of sleep in the morning, and that's why I'll shower.
If you
at
take
night.
a shower before you go to bed, you're fine unless you're a sweat ball. But to me, I use it as much for waking up as I do for anything else.
All right, so tell us what
Morning
is
shower people.
Morning shower people. Shower every morning.
All right, so a recent article at time.com extols perhaps the single best virtue of evening showering, noting that if you want to improve your sleep, showering at night may be the way to go.
Well, guess what? And this is going to be a surprise. I shower at night as well.
I know you do. And in the morning.
Experts say there's evidence that a night shower can help you drift off.
All right, do you...
Night shower, night shower. We all have to take one. Every night shower, night shower.
Grabbing for the loofah. Getting in the shower.
All right, what were you were about to say?
I was going to ask if you shower fully.
Night shower, night shower.
You do that better than anybody,
Thank
Steve.
you. I got my higher end back.
Go ahead. What were you going to say, Case?
Do you fully shower both times?
At night and
I
in the
do
morning.
military showers. I have no hair.
Yeah.
That cuts down on a lot of it. However, I at night I take a hot shower, a quick hot shower. In the morning I take a wake up shower.
Okay.
I don't know why I just enjoyed you saying, I have no hair.
It's the goddamn truth.
I just have no
In case you haven't
hair.
noticed, the same way Kathy pleasures herself to herself.
Oh my God.
I have no hair.
Do you guys ever wash your pubes with shampoo?
Oh my God.
Every day. Why?
With shampoo you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Not
I do
soap?
No. Toothpaste.
When I'm washing my hair,
You then go downstairs.
I have soap in my hand, so
Right.
use it on your pubes.
He's got soap in his hands. For his nads, he's got soap in his hands. For his nads.
This is getting ridiculous.
We had 3 hours of sleep last night.
And there are real musicians in the green room listening to this.
They probably have
I don't think they're listening.
Okay.
We may be inspiring a new song
Napping.
from Dorothy. Bedazzled Shimmer takes time. La La Land star Emma Stone was the belle of the ball at the Oscars, winning Best Actress, and she's absolutely looking the part. You go back and see the photos, thanks to some seriously hardworking fashion folk. Stone's stylist, Petra Flannery,
that's who I use,
tells people that her custom Givenchy haute couture gown, custom made by Riccardo Tisci, took a mind-boggling 1,700 hours to make.
Oh,
Wait a second. Okay.
My God. Wait, I mean, you guys don't like to talk about this fashion stuff, but
I do.
had the best dress on at the Oscars. She looked gorgeous.
She did look gorgeous. But Kathy, I thought it was a really beautiful gown, but 1,700 hours.
Well, if you, I mean, there was all kinds of beads on it. The bottom was fringe. I mean, that's all handmade. You know, that's all done by hand.
All right, Miss Fashion Maven here. She also had a lot of the of glitter. It appeared glitter in her makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice, like around the eyes and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Is that stripper glitter thing still happening?
Well, I think that she did it a little bit more glamorously, not
Okay.
so I wouldn't
Not like
call
a
it
stripper.
glitter, but she looked great. Whatever she did, she looked gorgeous.
Do you think she's I mean, because Preston, that's your style there.
Yeah,
porcelain skin, red hair.
I think she is pretty. I think, once again, some people make her to be this stunning goddess. I
Right.
just think she's very pretty.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, and she looked good.
Riccardo Tisci says it took over 1,700 hours and a team of 11 from the Givenchy atelier. He said it's a beaded wonder. When you see it up close, it's a marvel of various golden colors, shapes, and sizes.
It's just incredible.
Yeah.
You get closer, it's like, oh my God, it's the Ark of the Covenant. I get weak in the knees. How alien is that world to us?
Oh, my God.
We can't even say the names of the places or the designers. I don't know it. I don't know who these people are.
I don't know. I think you'd do great as a commentator on the red carpet.
Yeah. I mean, who's the guy from Fashion
Yeah.
Gunn? Tim Gunn?
Yeah.
It's just crazy. Oh, you dominate.
No, I don't know. I can look and say, oh, you look nice in that, or that looks like crap.
That's pretty.
Pretty much.
I can
it.
see
Yeah.
your boobies.
Yeah. By the way, I finally saw Amy Adams. Holy God.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not that really busty, but she sure looked like it in her dress.
Who looked? Brie Larson.
Yeah.
Did you see Brie Larson?
Yeah.
Whoa.
That was nice.
That's our commentary. Preston, check out the kids. Oh yeah. We should be you're at the beginning. We don't even have the microphones.
93.3 WMMR. It's a cover song. It is 10:30 Friday morning. We are at the end of our broadcast week and the end of us being here in this studio for a little while.
Yeah.
We're taking it on the road as Camp Out for Hunger is coming up on
The
Monday.
journey begins.
Yeah, it does.
Back fully. And then some, I say, because we have... there's a couple of tricks we picked up over the past couple of years. We're going to employ them, but the Camp Out will be back full band. You said the full tent.
Yeah.
And you forget how goddamn big that was.
Mm-hmm. And all the bands returning to perform live. So, we'll kick off Monday morning with Chico's Vibe. It's kind of our tradition with those guys. But a few other great acts, some new ones this year that are going to be a part of it.
Yeah. And what's really cool is that years and years and years ago, the thought was, okay, people are coming down, as you said, you were describing it, Preston. We got to do something. We got to give them something to do. We got to... if they're making the time to come by and make donations, reward them for that.
Yeah.
And hence the carnival you're going to see beginning Monday.
A little bit of a party that happens. So we hope that you will be a part of it. It's our 25th year of doing it, and so we're excited about it. I would like to thank our guest this morning, Adam Conover.
Yeah.
From Adam Ruins Everything. He's got his stand-up show tonight and tomorrow at Helium Comedy Club, and he was just the nicest guy.
He was really good.
He's a talker. He's very, very smart, very funny. And we were happy to have him by here this morning. We're happy to have Pierre Robert in our studio, too.
And good day.
Nice to see you, sir.
I hear a little raspiness in your voice.
Yeah, man.
Were you yelling last night?
I was yelling last night. And even more so, just didn't get to bed till a ridiculous hour. So
What hour?
A Pierre hour.
1:30, yeah.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, but I woke up at, 3:50 after going to bed at 1:30. So that's how it works.
That's late for you.
Yeah, baby.
Good for you.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you, kid.
Thanks, man.
That's how you rally.
That's how you rally. You go to bed late. You get up early,
right?
And you have a couple shots of Jack.
Yeah.
We did have fun this morning.
Chili, get me my cold compress.
Exactly. And a filterless cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
Have a Camel.
And a camel? Like an actual animal?
Bring me an actual camel.
Bring me a camel,
I'm going to
Chili.
smoke that effort.
Light up a Camel.
Yeah.
Make it a dromedary.
Or a Pall Mall. Pall Mall.
Bring me a marsupial.
Pall Mall.
Pall Mall.
Lucky Strike.
A Lucky Strike. LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
Ah.
That used to be on the side of every Lucky Strike.
Along with the doctor's recommation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Along with the doctor's recommendation. More doctors smoke Lucky
LSMFT.
Strike.
Okay.
It was on the side of every
pack
of Lucky Strikes, and they would advertise it on TV. LSMFT, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. However, in our little Catholic grade school, we said loose straps mean flabby.
There you go.
That's
I'm surprised they didn't go with that. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't go with that as their advertising campaign.
I like it, though.
Yeah.
I would have loved that.
All right, we need a letter for
These
the
are
word.
stories.
They are of the people.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
The Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter
Y as in yellow.
All right, and we'll take the third caller, 215-263 WMMR. All right, Y was that last letter. Let's see if you've been paying attention and you know the word. So it'll be the third caller, and we will let you take a shot at winning our Word of the Week prize.
You know what you could do, Pierre? The Pierre Home Companion.
Nice.
Oh, Prairie Home
Stories
Companion.
from your life.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Like the Prairie Home Companion.
Yeah. Well, that
An
gives
evening
me
with Pierre.
That's an off ramp. I
Yeah.
like that.
There you go.
Pierre Home Companion. NPR will welcome me with open arms.
There we go.
The show today
Oh, right.
How about it?
We'll
How about that?
We'll have a block of the band, which will be fun, and a last pair of tickets for The Last Waltz with Warren Haynes of Government Mule Sunday at the Met. We will have a block of Queen, and the Hooters begin their annual two-night stand at the Keswick this evening and tomorrow night. Both shows are sold out. I will be hosting them, but we will have a block of the Hooters, so a fun day.
Awesome. All right, looking for a third caller, and it just so happens that I hit the right button, and it's Corey. Hi, Corey.
Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, Corey, we need the word of the week. What is it?
It's happy.
Great day in the morning.
That is indeed correct. All right, Corey, hang on. We're going to set you up $500 from the Bagster.
You.
So congratulations, Corey. Hang on. We'll get your information. We'll set you up. The Bagster, by the way, is by far the most convenient and affordable way to help with your home cleanup. Go buy it at any home improvement store, fill it, and simply schedule your collection, and it's gone. Clean it up with the Bagster dumpster in a bag. I want to thank our sponsors. The Preston and Steve Show has been brought to you today by Dunkin'. The Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Also brought to you by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors, and by Trinity Rehab at locations all over and now open in King of Prussia, trinity-rehab.com. Next week, it's Camp Out for Hunger.
Yes.
Food trucks and fireworks on that Wednesday. If there's a parade and we have to move it, we'll do it on Thursday. And we have guests coming by. The most important guest is going to be you. Please stop by and see us. And not just us. Pierre Robert and Brent Porsche will be broadcasting live as well.
Yeah.
So come by throughout the day and see all the staff members of MMR and help us out with our drive to end hunger in the area and give Phil Abundance some much needed help. That's it. We're done. Rage on. Have a great weekend. Go Phils, and we will see you there on Monday, gang. Bye-bye.